And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another live production here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network here on Prairie View A&M University, here on top of the hill. Alongside me, I am Philip Prince. With me is Mr. Andre Davis. How you doing, Mr. Davis?
I am doing fantastic, Phil. Just fantastic, man. And great intro music, by the way, man. Look at you. I see you. Go ahead, man. But no, I'm doing fantastic, man. It's great to be back here on the beautiful campus of Prairie View A&M University. It's been far too long. I feel like I've been gone far too long, but it's a beautiful day for some college football. I cannot believe that the season has already getting ready to come to an end, but I'm excited to be here.
It's like we just started the other day, and, man, you seem like you came back at the right time. We have a good one in store for you guys here today. We have the Alabama State Hornets here visiting the Prairie View A&M Panthers, as the Prairie View Panthers have a lot aligned here in today's contest. If they can come out through a victory, they take care of business, and they win the West. And when you started off the season, it looked like it was a jumpy start, and we mentioned earlier in the season, Prairie View Panthers had an excellent job, an excellent opportunity to take care of the West, but now it seemed like they had a jumpy start and midway through the season. But now here we are now. You would never seem like they have this opportunity now.
They've been calling it the Wild Wild West, Bill. The Wild Wild West is what they've been calling it. The reason being is because you have Prairie View, you have Alcorn, you have, is it going to be Grambling? Is it going to be Southern? You have all these teams in the West that's trying to fight for this opportunity to represent the West for the SWAC championship. Meanwhile, you have FAMU just sitting comfortably in the East, just licking their chops, just sitting back, just waiting to see who's it going to be, who are we going to face from the West in the Southwest Athletic Championship game. But to your point, it has been a rocky season for the Panthers, but as they always say, it is not how you start, it is how you finish. And the Panthers have an opportunity here at home on the beautiful campus of Prairie View A&M University to solidify what this season has been for them, and we're excited to give you all that as it unfolds here today.
Yeah, absolutely. Just want to remind you, are listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network here, where we've been serving student athletes since 2002, the voice of student athletes. And we want to take this time and thank our sponsor, because they would not be possible without them to give you this coverage. We want to thank the Prairie View Athletic Club, serving the student athletes since 1986. For more information on how to become a member, dial 936-857-5817 and ask for Mr. Greg Austin. The Panther Backers, serving student athletes since 1995. For more information on how to become a member, contact Dino Robinson at 713-417-2090. And the Temple of Refuge Ministry. Listen live in each Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time by dialing 857-777-0000. Building the kingdom one soul at a time. And also here in the booth with us, we have none other than Mr. Greg Johnson. How you doing, Mr. Greg Johnson?
Good. I'm good. How you guys doing today? I'm doing great.
Man, it's great. And like I said, it's a great time for some football here. And Mr. Greg Johnson will be giving us our stats for you guys today. And so far, you want to say, what are the key things that you're looking for today's team?
Well, when I look at the game notes, we have PV's rushing attack. And when you look at PV's season so far, the rushing attack with PV, they gained 1,851 yards. So when you look at the rushing attack for Alabama State, they gave up to their opponents 1,012 yards. So their defense doesn't really give up too many rushing yards, and PV does a great job of rushing the ball. So look for PV to continue to try to rush the ball at Alabama State. Even though they don't give up too many yards, they're still going to try to establish the run game today. And I think that is what's going to be the difference in this game for PV.
Absolutely. And like I said, one thing that the Prairie want to do, they want to run the ball. You got to stick to the true identity. You don't want to switch up. So you want to take the shots downfield, but when you have the opportunity to be so effective running the ball, and at will, almost, it seems like you want to take full advantage. You don't want to take any of that shot of playing without your own true colors. As the teams are making their way out onto the field right now, the Panthers coming out wearing the gold helmets with the purple top and the white bottoms, as the visiting Hornets come just out in the all white with the white helmets, the white top, and the white bottoms. And I want to say, stick to the key for victories for the Prairie View, Mr. Davis. Like I said, Greg mentioned the running attack, and we want to emphasize Mr. Caleb Johnson. Mr. Caleb Johnson was a huge impact in last week's win over Southern. But we're going to see if the graduate transfer can come in and utilize that big breakout we've been waiting for.
Yes, sir. You know, he's one of the key backs for the Panthers in this backfield. But you know, we have to mention Mr. Ahmad Antoine, the senior himself. You know, he's actually top 10 in the SWAC in terms of rushing for the 2023 campaign. And you also have the sophomore running back, Connor Wisham. Connor Wisham as well. So, you know, you have all these tools. And speaking of rushing, one of the things that I noticed last week in the Panthers' victory against Southern is the rushing attack of this redshirt senior, Mr. Trayvon Conley. Absolutely. Something that we hadn't really seen much of for the 2023 campaign. One of the things that I noticed that he did was not just with the attack he did through the air, but he decided to put the ball on the ground and use his legs. He's a dual threat quarterback. I believe he had over 50 yards rushing once the final conclusion of the game, which is actually really good for a quarterback. So can we see that not only the rushing attack by Mr. Ahmad Antoine, but can we also see the rushing attack by Mr. Trayvon Conley, given certain situations of the game? Is he going to put his legs on the ground and try to get some yards offensively for the Panthers?
Yes, sir. And then, like I said, mentioned back to Trayvon Conley, you want to see if they can take advantage of the ASU man coverage that they like to play a lot downfield. And he has to be a lot accurate with his passes. And then we're going to see if Prairie View can minimize all those drop passes that they have accumulated throughout the whole season. You don't want to stall into many of those drives. And then we're going to flip to the defensive side of things. Now, defense must contain ASU quarterback at all costs, and that's applying as much pressure as you can. You don't want them to be comfortable sitting in the pocket and just have it all day to throw. And then open field tackling. If you can maximize on open field tackling at all costs, you have a good chance of coming out and winning today's contest. And then we're going to talk about special teams being able to flip the field advantage in their favor. If you have a chance to flip the field advantage at any time in your favor, you have a good shot of coming out with a victory.
Yes, sir.
And then you want to see the Prairie View play some more clean football. Last week they had a total of 4 penalties for a total of 36 yards. That's the best clean football that we have seen Prairie View play. And we're going to see if they can stay and keep that momentum coming into this game. And another, again, historically they have not been well coming in second half of football under Bubba McDowell. But last week they had a strong second half against Southern. They shut them down. And now we're going to see if they can continue that, and that's what they need to come out to a victory here today. Because, again, Alabama State, they're currently second in the East right now in the SWAC, so they don't have a shot of playing in the SWAC championship because they do have a chance to be spoiler alert and send Prairie View home packing. And if stuff how they fold under the SWAC today, we will keep you and give you more information on that as the kickoff is set to go here. We are here again in Prairie View A&M University as the Panthers kicking off to the Alabama State Hornets. As here we have kicking off, receiving about his own 5. He's going to get a nice return all the way up to about his own 30. And we do have a penalty marker here on the field, as I just alluded, trying to play some clean football. So hopefully,
just talk about that.
Panthers play some clean football. Hopefully that's not going against the Panthers. I'll be real await the call.
Yes, sir.
Holding. Receiving team, number 41. 10-yard penalty for the spot foul. First down, Alabama State.
As we got the clarification from the head official, as it is going against Alabama State, so that's going to push them back. So they were going to get it at their own 30, but now they're going to be moving back all the way. They said at 25, so now back to their own 15, moving from our left to right as fans are steadily making their way in. Not a big turnout so far yet, as people, I guess, trying to get accumulated to the time, just not used to playing at the 2 o'clock just yet. So as we get set to go here at quarterback for the Hornets, going to be number 17, Mr. Damian Stewart. He's just going to hand this off. It's going to be met by a host of Panthers right there. And
leading the way was that man, Mr. Keyshawn Johnson. You know, you talked about the tackling, especially in the open field for the Panthers defensively, and Keyshawn Johnson did a great job right there. This leading tackler for this Panthers defense, looking for that young man to have a breakout game today.
Yes, sir. Like I said, he's also one of the seniors, as it is again senior night, or senior day, I should say, here on the hill. So the Panthers are going to rely on their seniors to see if they can come through and, like I said, come through out of victory. And like I said, if they take care of things here, they have a good shot of seeing themselves in Tallahassee on December 2nd, as Mr. Stewart now is going to have a play action. He's going to take this out and run to the left side and have a completed pass to his intended receiver, number 11, Jace Mellock.
Yeah, he fit that one in there just in the nick of time. There was actually a great pursuit by the Panther defense. You talk about, the fact that we need to get that the Panthers need to get to the quarterback, and they almost had him, so he kind of just ran out of time, but he was able to complete that pass for a first down.
Yeah, it would have picked up the first down right there, but now we're going to see if the Panthers defense can kind of slow them down. They kind of got a little momentum here, and kind of want to do a little hurry up now. Stewart is going under center now. You don't see a lot of that here in today's play now. Under center, he's going to hand this off to his back, number 26. That is Marcus Harris II. And Mr. Harris is probably going to get maybe a yard on that carry.
So far, the Panthers are looking strong, being able to stop the run. And Alabama State is showing that they're trying to go aggressive here. As you just mentioned, nobody really goes under center anymore, but they've done it twice so far here on this opening drive.
As we get set to go ahead, you like to see a lot of teams try to control the momentum of the game as the Hornets are already back ready on the line here, but back to the jumbo pack here. They got a split wide receivers now. Stewart, again, under center. You have number 26, Harris in the backfield again, and he's going to get this one once again and maybe get another 2 yards on that carry.
Yes, sir, and this time that was stopped by the linebacker, Mr. Travion Green. Again, the Panthers looking strong on defense right now, being able to stop the run. So far, Alabama State not able to get anything on the ground so far.
And the Panthers are going to be up to a test, Mr. Andre, but he come in allowing in the second most points in the SWAC right now, averaging about 32.7 points per game they're giving up. So the defense is up to a big test right now.
There's a lot of tests on both sides today. A lot of tests on both sides. We'll see if the Panthers can hold things down.
So now Stewart's in the shotgun formation, looking to pass, has some time to throw, and he's going to step up in the pocket and run, have enough for the first down, still on his feet, and he's going to slide at midfield. And there was nobody up in the middle containing Stewart. It's just split the river wide open from the run.
It parted the Red Sea. Parted the Red Sea. So Stewart, just like Trayvon Conley, Stewart is also a dual-threat quarterback for Alabama State. And this young man has no problem taking off if he sees fit, and he did it on that play right there.
You're picking up a big game right there. We're going to take about almost 20 yards on that carry right there. Not to be exact, but we'll cover with that. And now they're able to move the chains right there. And now the Hornets have the ball at midfield now, putting up a pretty good drive right now. Stewart back under center, getting with the split wide receivers back in the back, and with him is number 8 now, Mr. Holland. And he's going to fake the handoff, just throw it out to number 1, the intended receiver. That is Keyshawn Johnson. Keyshawn Johnson right there on the carry, on the reception, and he was about to get about getting 6 yards right there.
Yeah, they went with the jet sweep on that last play, and it was actually solid containment by the Panthers defense. He was able to break one tackle. We talked about open tackling, something that the Panthers are going to have to do throughout the course of this game, and that's what allowed him to get those extra yardage on first down.
Now, 2nd and 4 now for the Hornets. You got 11:07 remaining here in the first quarter on the Hornets' first drive of the game. This is the man in motion. Stewart's going to hand this off to the tailback. That is number 22 for the Hornets. That is I have a 22. Is that Mr.
Yeah,
Green?
that's the running back, number 22, A.J. Gates.
A.J. Gates.
Yes, sir.
So Mr. A.J. Gates on the carry right there, picking up.
And the Panthers actually stacked the box on that last play, so you can tell they were looking for run, but A.J. Gates was able to lower his shoulders, pick up the extra few downs for the Hornets. Now they're looking at first down right now.
1st and 10 now. Ball is spotted at the Panthers' 41-yard line. Stewart looking to pass. Has an intended receiver downfield, trying to get the one-on-one. A lot of fight going on. Still a no call, but well covered right there by the Panthers.
Well covered there by the Panthers. Stewart tried to take a shot downfield, but well covered by the Panthers on that last play. Ahmad Robinson, the leading defender on that last play for the Panthers. You can tell that the receiver was trying to sell the pass interference because he knew he wasn't going to really be able to catch that ball. But great job by the officials just waving it off on that play.
Yes, sir. Like I said, took a shot downfield. And again, the Panthers got to do a better job of trying to contain Mr. Stewart. Mr. Stewart had a lot of time to throw once again on that pass.
And it's kind of interesting because, defensively, it's like, what do? You try to have everybody back, but then Stewart may take off downfield. You may have to get a spy in there as well.
So now it's set to go here. Stewart's just going to hand this off to the running back. That's number 22, Mr. Gates once again, and Mr. Gates is going to pick up about a yard right there. So Austin Gavin is the name on that carry. So Mr.
Austin Gavin, yes.
So now, as the Hornets are now looking at a 3rd down and 9 now for the Hornets. Ball is spotted at their own 38-yard. Oh, excuse me, at the Panthers' 38-yard line.
Panthers may find themselves in a bend but don't break situation defensively right now. Let's see if they can get off the field.
Still looking to pass, have some pressure all in its face. But he's going to have to just chunk this to the sideline as the Panthers come away with a huge third down stop.
That was the other linebacker, Warren Schenkel, coming in on that hot pursuit to Stewart on that play. And we talked about the ability of the Panthers defensively to being able to get to the quarterback. They was able to do it on that play to get off the field. And here we go, 4th down.
Exactly what the Panthers needed right there. It looked like the Hornets were putting up a good drive, threatening to score, at least put up some punts on that first drive. But now they're going to have to bring out the punting unit to punt the ball away. Standing at his own 10-yard line is number 0 for the Panthers, as Brian Jenkins.
Yeah, the ball is at the 38-yard line. They figured that it just may be slightly outside the kicker's field goal range.
Ball's going to take a bounce and in the end zone, but they tried to tip it and try to pin the Panthers down at the 1-yard line, but they were already in the end zone when they had already touched the ball. So now the Panthers going to get some good starting field position here to get their first drive.
Volleyball skills weren't quite up to par. Volleyball skills were not quite up to par, but excellent job by the Panthers defense on that opening drive. I mean, the Hornets nearly drove near the length of the field, but again, as I mentioned, bend but don't break situation. The Panthers able to get off the field on 3rd down. Now, Mr. Trayvon Conley and company will be able to come onto the field for their first drive here to start this game.
And let's see if the Panthers can build some momentum now and try and take the first lead into this game. As Trayvon Conley and his offense set to go, he has 3 receivers here. His right one to the left. He has Mr. Brooks in the backfield with him. He's going to hand it off Mr. Brooks. He's going to try to hit the outside, trying to find a big lane, and he's going to run straight out of bounds. He's probably picking up about a good positive yards and 7 yards right there.
Yeah, some solid yards on that play by Mr. Jamario Brooks. He turned on the Jets and was able to get around that corner. There's also great blocking on the play by the Panthers as well.
As Mr. Brooks now making his way to the sideline after getting the first heavy doses right there for the first positive gain for the Panthers. That direction, he probably picked up 6 yards right there. So now the Panthers looking at a 2nd and 4 now. Ball is spotted at their own 26-yard line. Conley is in the shotgun, empty back. Now Mr. Robinson comes in motion, lines up back there with him. He's going to fake the handoff to Mr. Brian Robinson. Conley's going to take this and run, and he's going to have enough for the first down, and then some, picking up about 9 yards right there on the carry.
So the Hornets showed their dual-threat quarterback in the opening drive, and now the Panthers are showing their dual-threat quarterback here on this drive. Great job by Trayvon Conley, just seeing the fact that there was an open lane downfield, not hesitating, picking up the positive yards and the first down for the Panthers.
Yes, sir. Conley actually able to pick up 8 yards on there with his feet, so now that's enough to move the change and have the Panthers pick up their first down of the game. Conley and his offense looking to the sideline to get their plays. Like I said, a lot of teams want to do it no hurry. They like the substitution that they have on the field. So now Conley is actually ready to go. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to the left. Going to fake the hand off to Brooks. Tried to spin out of some tackle and not going to be able to do that successfully, as leading the charge to bring him down was number 2, Mr. Andre Autry. And Mr. Conley is going to be sacked for a loss about 6 yards right there.
Yeah, they went with the read option again on that last play, but it appears that Conley also had the option to pass it as well, and he was trying to make up his mind at the last minute, but it was just great high pursuit by the Hornets defense on that last play.
So now it's going to be 2nd and 16 now for the Panthers. Conley looking to pass. That's from the pocket, has intended receiver, and it was intended for number 0, Mr. Brian Jenkins. Mr. Jenkins is looking for a penalty flag. It seems like he had someone, and that was number 11 for the Hornets. That was on the coverage right there, and that was Mr. Amon Scrumber.
Yeah, it was definitely some jersey pulling on that play. Maybe the official just assumed that the pass wasn't catchable, so he decided to wave that one off. And we got 3rd down coming up for the Panthers.
So now it's going to be 3rd and 16 now for Mr. Trayvon Conley and his offense. And Mr. Conley's just going to hand this off to Mr. Jameer Brooks. And Jameer Brooks is going to only pick up 1 yard or 2 right there on that carry. So now the Panthers are going to bring out their punting unit led by number Mr. 48, Efren Jasso.
Yeah, so empty possession for the Panthers offensively wasn't able to make it to the 50-yard line. But we saw some sparks of Panthers trying to get the run game going early here in this ball game. We'll see if their defense can kind of just keep things going here.
So back deep for the Hornets to receive this punt would be number 87, Mr. Robert McMinn, and he is standing at his own 30-yard line. And this ball could take a nice Prairie roll and just going to keep bouncing inside the 20, inside the 15 now, still taking a bounce. And Mr. Jasso had a nice little punt right there. It's going to pin the Hornets inside their own 10-yard line.
Great punt by Mr. Ephraim Jasso. Ephraim Jasso was also named Special Teams Player of the Week from his past performance against Southern last week. And we see right there a great punt to get him right at the 10-yard line. That's where the Hornets are going to start their next possession here on this drive.
And before the Hornets come back and start their drive, we're going to take a quick break. Remind you are listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
The Prairie View Athletic Club has been serving and supporting student athletes since 1986. This group of volunteers believe in supporting and the motto that Prairie View produces productive people. For more information on how you can become part of this winning team, simply dial 936-857-5817. Every time you support the Prairie View Athletic Club, you are supporting Prairie View Athletics, and it is also tax deductible. So once again, for more information on how to become a member of the Prairie View Athletic Club, simply dial 936-857-5817. Who you rooting for? PVU.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here at Prairie View A&M University on the hill where the Prairie View A&M Panthers is hosting the Alabama State Hornets right now. And the Hornets are going to get their second look at it right now. Balls are going to be spotted at their own 10-yard line. So a nice punt and change of field and advantage right now did by the special teams by the Panthers. And as we get set to go here, both teams are still on the side. I'm going to give you a game back history right now. Mr. Bubba McDowell, the head coach of the Prairie View A&M University, and Mr. Eddie Robinson Jr. were teammates back in the day for the Houston Royals. And I know I was too young for the Royals to be existing, but
I think we both were.
So, a little fun matchup right here, as one can have bragging rights over the other. As both of the coaches' second year stint at each other's university right now. So right now, we're going to see if one or the other can outman the other right now.
It's always a friendly competition we can go against, previous teammates and things of that nature. So, that's why we're here. that's why they play the game.
As Alabama State makes their way out onto the field right now to take their second drive of the game. Remind you, this game is important for the Panthers as if they can come out with a win, they will have the West secured up. So they're up to a challenge right now with 6:26 remaining here in the first quarter. We've yet to have anybody score. Both teams have the ball and both ending the punts right now. So, again, the Hornets are now getting their second look at things right now.
Yeah, the Hornets wasn't really successful that much on the ground, with the exception of the quarterback play of Stewart. So we'll see what adjustments they make here on their second drive offensively. So
Stewart's line under center is going to hand this off to the running back once again, and that is number 22. That is Mr. A.J. Gates on the carry.
And you notice that the Panthers defensively are stacking the box right now. They're expecting run, and the Hornets are showing run. So essentially, it's man on man, mano a mano. Who's going to be the toughest throughout the course of this ball game?
So Mr. Gates was able to pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now it's going to be a second down and 6 for the Hornets. Again, the goal line under center here with the odd formation, 2 receivers, 2 Stewart's left, single one in motion, going to fake the handoff, play action pass, has an open receiver right there. It's to his receiver number 14, and that is his tight end, Mr. A.J. Lewis. And Mr. A.J. Lewis just found a little slimmer, got behind the defense, and was able to pick up a big yardage right there.
Now, you talk about the fact that we don't see too many teams get under center anymore. I cannot remember the last time I seen the I formation as well. So it's actually a great job by Stewart keeping his eyes downfield. The Panthers were able to get some pressure on him, but he was able to stay poised and complete the pass downfield.
Again, the Hornets here moving from our left to right. Now changing the formation, going back to under center. Once again, 2 receivers to Stewart's right. He's going to pitch this off to his back, and he's going to just try and fight his way up to maybe get about 2 yards right there. That was number 26 on the carry, Mr. Marcus Harris, the second.
It was a solid run on that play, but it was a great job by the Panthers defensively Leading the charge defensively again was Mr. Keyshawn Johnson, getting in there often early here in this ball game.
So now the Hornets are now standing at a 2nd down and 8. Ball is spotted at their own 43-yard line. Stewart was lined up in the shotgun formation, empty backfield, but now he's going to go back once again to the I formation under gun. 2 receivers to his left in the backfield once again with him. Lined up is number 26, Mr. Harris, and Mr. Harris is going to get the carry and maybe get back to the original line of scrimmage, but might have lost a yard right there, depending on the spot.
The Panthers were waiting for him on that last play. It was a great job on the defensive line by the Panthers, getting a push. Again, it appears that the Hornets may be using the run and kind of set up the pass. We've seen twice here on this drive that they've been going with the play-action fake. They went with the play-action fake on the previous drive as well. So defensively, the Panthers need to be on the lookout for that as well.
So now the Hornets are up to a challenge right now. Looking at a 3rd down and 8 now. Ball is spotted at their own 43-yard line. 3:52 remaining here in the first quarter. Stewart's in the shotgun formation, signals his wide receiver number 10 in motion. This ball is going to be sacked. Excuse me, that's Mr. Stewart trying to roll out to his left. And getting to him was number 99.
Mr. Calvin Presley.
Calvin Presley coming away with a big sack right there. A much-needed sack for a loss of 9 yards right there. So now the Hornets are going to have to bring out their punting unit.
So 2 drives in a row, the Panthers come up big on 3rd down here in this opening quarter of this football game. First drive, they was on their side of the 50-yard line, but in this particular case, the Hornets were not able to make it to the 50-yard line. Great job by the Panthers defensively to come up on 3rd down.
So now it's going to be a high snap. And it's going to get away from the punter, and the punter is just going to have to kick this into the end zone. And that's going to have to be a safety right there. There is a penalty marker on the play right now. And kind of a questionable call right there of him just kicking it away. It seemed like he just could have took it and maybe got away with it, but...
Well, he was looking at about 8 purple jerseys as soon as he picked the ball up. And the punter said, my job is to punt. My job is not to take off and run with it.
So now we're going to see what the official is going to call here. As right now, they're still kind of discussing things over right now.
So far we've seen
illegal kicking. Number 48, offense. Half the distance to the goal. Lost the down. First down, Prairie View A&M.
Wow.
Okay, so it's not going to be a safety right there. So the Panthers are going to get great starting field position right here, and they have a chance to capitalize on the mistake right there.
Illegal kick by the punter. Definitely was not thinking clearly on that play. Now the Panthers are going to get it. Excellent field position, to say the least, at their own 1-yard line for this second drive.
Yeah, the ball's going to be spotted at the Hornets' 1-yard line, so you have 4 players to try and punch this in. Hopefully you can get it done in 1. With 2:56 remaining here in the first quarter, the Panthers are on the doorstep of taking the first points in this contest. Trajan Conley lining under center right now in the I formation for the Panthers. Conley is going to hand this off to the fullback, number 89, and that is...
And he's in there with no problem. It's the David Murray tight end, actually. We've seen that throughout the course of the season. They'll typically line up David Murray at the fullback position, even though his natural position is tight end, but he has the physical ability to be able to do so. He gets in for the touchdown. The Panthers on the scoreboard first.
And just what the doctor needed, if you're the Panthers fans, as they were able to capitalize on the mistake by the Hornets and put in and turn it into 6 points with the point-out attempt waiting by number 97, Mr. Carlos Gomez. Snap, the hold, the kick, it's up, and it's good. So just like that, 2:51 remaining here in the first quarter. 1 play, 1 yard, 1 touchdown, and the Panthers are on top. We're going to take a quick break. Mind you are listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
The birth of legends are storied in this conference. We must never forget our rich history. We now turn our gaze to the future. The new legends will emerge. New heroes to arise. The Southwestern Athletic Conference. Our history.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, as we are again here at Prairie A&M University, where the Panthers have got on to the board first, capitalizing on that 1-yard touchdown run by Mr. number 89, David Murray, and he was able to find his way in the end zone.
Yes, sir. And so we've seen the Panthers defensively come up big so far here in this first quarter. Still a lot of football left to be played, so just the fact that the defense has been able to get off the field on third down. Offensively, Panthers able to capitalize on the fact that they was at the 1-yard line, only took one play. Mr. David Murray punted it in. The Panthers strike first blood here on the brink of an opportunity to represent the West of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Got to do it for 4 quarters. So far, looking strong here in this ball game.
Absolutely. And just how significant the game is. Of course, if Prairie View is able to come away with the victory, they don't have to have much help. They are punch their ticket into the SWAC championship game that will be held in Tallahassee, Florida on December 2nd, as they will face against FAMU, of course. They will face against FAMU, of course, if they go out there. So they're going to have to go back to the drawing board and keep playing on this good momentum that they have right now. We're going to give you some scoring updates right now throughout the SWAC right now. Alcorn State is on top of Jackson State right now by a score of 7-0 with 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Texas State is on top of Arkansas Pine Bluff right now by a score of 7-0 with 31 seconds to go in the first quarter. Florida A&M will play against Bethune-Cookman. Kickoff is set to go at 2:30 p.m. And we had a final score from Thursday as Alabama A&M was victorious over Mississippi State by a score of 30-21. And also, we just want to take this time to remind you can listen to the post-game show after you hear the 1856 after-game party show with Dr. Prince. Once this game has concluded,
Fans starting to pour their way in here into Black Sheep Field. It's a beautiful day here at Prairie View A&M University. Cheering their Panthers on as they try to come away with a victory here again. This is the last home game of this 2023 campaign.
As the Hornets are going to get this one, going to get the better starting field position as they were the last 2 drives where they've gotten in. So now they're going to have this one at their own, I'm going to say about the 29, 30-yard line, depending on the spot.
Yeah, better starting field position. But one of the things I am noticing is that the Panthers are fired up on the sideline. Even though they're only up by 1 score, you can tell that they have the adrenaline, they have the momentum on their side right now. You can just tell in their overall body language right now.
So now the Panthers were able to hold the Hornets to punting the ball in the last 3 drives. So now we're going to see if they can stop them here once again. So now Stewart looking to pass. He's going to have an open wide receiver up the middle, and he's going to connect with number 1. That is Keyshawn Johnson. Keyshawn Johnson on the catch runs able to pick up about 35 yards right there.
Yeah, so far, Mr. Keyshawn Johnson has been Stewart's favorite target here in this first quarter. Again, they went with the play action fake. He kind of ran across the middle of the field. He was wide open, picks up the positive yards for the Hornets.
Excuse me, about 20 yards right there. So now the ball is going to be spotted at midfield, moving from our left to right. Mr. Stewart in the shotgun formation has 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Fakes the handoff, has his receiver on the screen, and he's going to be up to about the Panthers side of the field that is connected with number 10, Isaiah Stewart. And Isaiah Stewart able to pick up about 7 yards on that catch and run.
So it appears that the Hornets may be trying to air this thing out here on this drive. For their first 2 opening drives, they've been kind of more run heavy. But it appears now that they're kind of trying to air this ball out. Stewart has been lined up in the shotgun so far here in this drive.
And Stewart is again in his offense ready to go, already lined up at the line of scrimmage, ready to get this next play off. As in the shotgun formation in the backfield with those number 8, Jawan Howell. And he's going to fake the handoff to Howell and keep himself and hit the outside, trying to make something not enough. He's going to have enough for the first down, hit the outside, but they tripped up right there before it was a big game.
Yeah, so he was able to get just enough for the first down, but it was a great job, a great pursuit by the linebacker, Warren Schenkel. It appears that he may have had the touchdown saving tackle. I didn't really see a safety behind Shanko on that play. So great shoestring tackle by him on that last play.
So now it's going to bring up another 1st and 10 now for the Hornets. 1:08 remaining here in the first quarter. Panthers leading by a score of 7-0. Empty backfield for Stewart. 3 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. Now he's sitting a man in motion. Stewart fakes the pass, looking the pass, and goes trying to come to the receiver on the screen play. And that is in number 1, Keyshawn Johnson. But there is some penalty marking coming in late after the play.
Yeah, there was a lot of movement going on offensively on that play. You can tell that the Hornets were trying to move everybody around offensively to kind of keep the Panthers guessing.
Personal foul, face mask, number 7, defense. 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic first down.
So that's going to be the Panthers' first committed penalty in this contest, and not a good one. So that's going to add on 15 extra yards at the end of that run, because after that catch and run by Keyshawn Johnson, only got 1 yard right there, so good job.
Yeah, it was a great tackle by Calvin Presley on that last play, but it was negated by the face mask penalty, and that was Mr. Jeremiah Harris, who's the culprit for the Panthers on that last play.
So now it's going to be 1st and 10 now for Mr. Stewart and this Hornets offense. Ball is spotted at the Panthers' 22-yard line, looking to pass, and the ball is going to be tipped. Looks like it's tipped by number 9, Keyshawn Johnson. Was intended for number 1, Keyshawn Johnson. So now it's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 now.
Their Johnson versus our Johnson. Keyshawn Johnson showing some athleticism on that last play. Kind of had to get up in the air on that when it kind of bat that one down. So great job by Mr. Keyshawn Johnson on that last play.
Say Keyshawn Johnson for the Panthers.
Yeah, we got to clarify. Yeah, Mr. Keyshawn Johnson for the Panthers.
So now it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10 now for the Hornets. Clock stopped at 39 seconds now. This ball is going to be completed to Keyshawn Johnson for the Hornets, and he's going to maybe have about 5 yards on that catch and run.
So this will be Keyshawn Johnson of the Hornets, his 3rd reception of this drive. He already has 7 receptions here in this ball game. Johnson has been Stewart's favorite target offensively for the Hornets.
Yeah, so far you see that the Hornets really want to go back, and they love these screen bubble plays. So they want to give it to their playmakers and let them do the rest. So now, correction, is going to be a 3rd down and 4 now for the Hornets. And Mr. Johnson in motion. Stewart looking to pass. Has the intended receiver. He's going to check down to his running back, and that's going to be a nice open field tackle by the Panthers, as it was intended for number 22. That was Mr. A.J. Gates on the carry.
And Travion Green, the linebacker for the Panthers. Great pursuit on 3rd down. Panthers defensively getting off the field yet again. That last play did take us to the end of the first quarter. 4th down coming up when the teams return. We'll see what happens.
So like Mr. Davis said, that has concluded the end of one. Prairie View on top right now by a score of 7-0. We'll be right back after this.
How you doing? This is Dr. Mike Prince with the Open Mic Broadcast Network. First, we'd like to say thank you guys for joining in with us for our daily content that we create here at the network, and we cannot get it done without your continued support. And we are now in need of your support for our listening partnership drive, which starts from September 1st through the 30th, to help us continue to build the necessary tools and training guide for our student broadcast coverage. We are extremely proud to be partners with Waller County, Texas for sports broadcast coverage since 2002. We were awarded the 2012 Media Excellence Award from the Texas Association of School Boards, and we are continually growing and building. Our network has contributed to many college students building and extending their careers through our training for jobs and internships in sports media market. We have a simple philosophy here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network: love what you do, simplify what you do, and master what you do. With those 3 elements involved in our movement, we take pride in teaching the principles and the technique necessary for a successful career in media broadcasting. We provide real-time, on-the-job training for our student broadcasters, which help propel them various entities of the sports media market. Help us continue to give the gift that keeps on giving today. You can visit our website at obnradio.com. This is a great opportunity for you to continue showing your support for us here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network while helping continue to provide the integral teachings of.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here at Prairie View A&M University as the Hornets on way to attempt the 32-yard field goal, and the kick is no good.
Wow.
So just like that, the Panthers have a chance to capitalize on the mistake by the Hornets.
So twice now, special teams has not worked in the favor of the Alabama State Hornets. We saw in the previous drive with the illegal kick by the punter, and now on this particular drive, wasn't able to capitalize on the 32-yard field goal, so the ball would turn over on downs. Trayvon Conley and company ready to go out there and try to do it again.
And absolutely, you're trying to feed off that energy right now. The Hornets miscapitalized on a missed opportunity right there. Could have put some points on the board because it seems like your offense been able to move down the field on this Prairie View defense at will almost. But again, to the leading reception, Mr. Keyshawn Johnson already been having an early work day so far.
We may have to put him on our fantasy team. We may have to put him on our fantasy team. He is getting his workout offensively for the Hornets, but the credit to the Panthers defensively, even though they may find themselves, well within their own territory, and they've been able to break situations. They've been able to get off the field on third downs, and that's going to be the key throughout the duration of this ball game so far. They've been able to do it here. We got 14:56 to go here in the second quarter, but they've been showing up so far here in this game.
Yes, sir, and the Panthers are going to get some decent starting field position. The ball's going to be spotted at their own 20-yard line. Now I'm going to be moving from our left to right. I just want to take this time and become a season pass supporter for the Panthers athletics by donating a donation of $11 that will help cover our season expenses. Visit the website at obnradio.com and get your season pass today. You can simply send the season pass donation to P.O. Box 891, Prairie View, Texas at 77446, and also send that by way of Cash App at $OBN Radio. Also, if you want to become a listening partner today by visiting and making your own secure donation by clicking the donation button. Your donation helps us continue bringing you the live sports action featuring our local student athletes here in Waller County. As here in Prairie View A&M University, Panthers on top right now by a score of 7-0 over the Alabama State Hornets. So far, the Panthers have been able to capitalize on the miscues that the Hornets have been able to establish early in the game.
Absolutely, and while we still have a quick break, we want to go over some scoring updates around the Southwest Athletic Conference because it's critical moments for several teams, specifically in the West. As we mentioned before, we've been calling it the Wild Wild West for this 2023 campaign. So Alcorn State is on top of Jackson State at the moment by the score of 14-0. 5:14 left in the first quarter of that ball game. Texas Southern on top of Arkansas Pine Bluff by the score of 14-0. 7:03 remained in the first quarter of that game. And Florida A&M and Purdue and Cookman are just underway in the Florida Classic here in that conference.
And just like you said, and what the best thing that Prairie View A&M Panthers can do right now is just if they can take care of business right there, they won't have to rely so much on the help that they're going to need if they weren't able to come away with the victory right now. So now Trayvon Conley's offense ready to go. The ball's going to be handed off to number Caleb Johnson. And Mr. Caleb Johnson has made his presence well known in this game already.
Okay, we don't have to put out an APB for Caleb Johnson. He's here. Number 3 is here in the building. Burst through the middle on that last play. First down for the Panthers.
Yes, sir. Picking up 13 yards right there. Mr. Caleb Johnson getting his first
shot out like a cannon.
So now it's 1st and 10 now for the Panthers. Ball is spotted at their own 33-yard line. Trayvon Conley going to fake the handoff to Mr. Caleb Johnson. Ball was intended for number 6. That he is
Mr. Jaquan Bloomfield right there. But more importantly, it was actually really good coverage by the cornerback of the Hornets, Mr. Mikey Victor, on that last play. It was one-on-one matchup between Jaquan Bloomfield and Mr. Mikey Victor. He was just more successful on that play.
And you tend to see a lot of the players try to get bailed out looking for a pass interference call right there, but I thought that was a good well cover right there by the Hornets.
Yes, sir.
So now we're looking at a 2nd and 10 now for the Panthers. And Trayvon Conley's going to fake the handoff. Just going to run to the outside and maybe get about 2-3 yards before running out of bounds.
So similar to what we saw offensively for the Hornets, going with the read option, given the fact that they have a dual threat quarterback in Stewart. Panthers are doing the same thing, but it appears that the Hornets kind of have the outside linebackers kind of working as a spy for Mr. Trayvon Conley, and he's kind of waiting for Conley to pull it so he can be right there ready for him, and he was there on that last play, so Conley was only able to pick up 2 yards on that last play.
Trayvon Conley's offense ready to go in the empty backfield now. 3 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. Now looking over to the sideline to get a signal in place as he had to kind of slow down. The Hornets making some late substitution as the Panthers were ready to go before then. So now we're set to go here. Shotgun formation. Steps in the pocket, and this ball's going to be batted down by the Hornet defender, number 44, Keon Burner, right there.
Yeah, Mr. Burner was able to get his hands up just in the nick of time as Conley was getting ready to release that ball. Panthers went with the empty backfield setup on that last play, which is something we typically see on 3rd down for the Panthers. I was interested to see if Conley if they was going to go with the QB draw with Trayvon Conley, but he opted to pass, but wasn't able to complete on that last play.
So now let's go to bring down a 4th and 8 now for the Panthers, and Mr. Jastos out to punt once again. Back deep for the Hornets. It's going to be number 87, Robert McMean. McMean standing at his own 30-yard line. Jastos gets a nice punt. No fair catch. The ball's going to be blocked by McMean, and McMean able to fall on it, but gets on it last second.
I believe the Panthers may have it, Phil. I don't know.
Depending on the spot as the officials coming in trying to get the players away from it. Waiting to call.
Get the call.
If the Panthers can have this one, it's going to be great field position, but by the signs of it, the head official is going to indicate that
he was able to get back on.
Able to get back on it, and the Hornets caught a break right there.
Wow. The Panthers were in hot pursuit on that last play. It was about to be another mishap by the special teams of the Hornets yet again, which has honestly been the Achilles heel so far here in this ball game.
So far, and just like that, if they were able, luckily they were able to fall back on it, but the Panthers, if they were able to get on that ball, they would have had it at the Hornets 15, 16-yard line and threaten to add on to the lead and just build on that momentum. Because so far the Panthers offense hasn't really had to work hard really at all.
So with our score being 7-0, we have 13:22 to go here in the second quarter, Phil. With the exception of technically the second drive of the Panthers when they had the ball on the 1-yard line and was able to punch it in by Mr. David Murray. Panthers really haven't been having much success offensively so far here in the course of this ball game in terms of being able to consistently move the ball downfield at a consistent flow.
Yeah, absolutely. And credit to the defense also, too. Stopping this Hornets offense. It seems like they were moving down the field, but they came up at the right time to force a punt. And also credit, you can only do so much with the missed field goal. But, like I said, they're helping and giving their offense a chance, in this contest. Because I said, like I alluded to earlier, the Panthers came in giving up the most points, second most points into the SWAC. And so far, they have done a great job.
They've done a great job. The Hornets are scoreless here in this ball game. Defensively, the Panthers have been playing exceptionally well. However, if your offense is not able to sustain a drive and stay on the field just a little bit longer, now the question becomes, at what point, do the Panthers defensively give up points? Not because they aren't, making plays, but because they're tired. They haven't had an opportunity to stay on the sideline and get a break. It seems like they was just out there, but the Panthers weren't able to sustain their drive offensively. Now the defense has to come back out here yet again, hopefully try to get out the field and get this ball back into the hands of their offense.
Absolutely, as the Hornets offense makes their way out onto the field now, moving from our right to left. Again, the Hornets come in wearing the white tops, the white bottoms, and the white pants. As the home team Panthers come in with wearing the gold helmets, the purple tops, and the white bottoms with the gold stripes on the side.
Nice weather here today. Beautiful weather for some football.
As now Panthers trying to make some quick adjustments at the line on their defensive side. This ball's going to be handed off to the tailback for the Hornets, and that's number 26, Mr. Harris again with another carry of about 5 yards right there.
Panthers stacked the box yet again defensively, anticipating a run on that last play.
Yeah, Lucha said the good weather. It was about 74 degrees here at kickoff. Had some slight wind. Haven't really picked up much here. Maybe that could have been the cause and effect for the missed field goal earlier by the Hornets, but not too much of a big deal here as now the 2nd and 5 for the Hornets here as Stewart rolls out to his right, looking to pass, has an intended receiver right down. Once again, Mr. Number 1, Keyshawn Johnson, and Keyshawn Johnson has enough for the first down.
Keyshawn Johnson with the reception for the Hornets yet again. It appears that the Hornets are now going back to the center. On the previous drive, they was lined up in a shotgun formation. Now they're going back under the center with Stewart. It appears that they're doing the exact same thing in terms of utilizing the run to kind of set up the pass. And what they're doing is they're doing the play action fake.
Yes, sir.
And Keyshawn Johnson is just wide open in the middle every time.
Yes, sir. Getting behind that defense, and it seems like there hasn't been a single Panther within about 5 yards when Mr. Stewart's been looking his way. So now Mr. Stewart has the first down for this offense. This ball's going to be handed off to the running back once again. Almost blowing up for a tackle loss right there. Coming in there was big and heavy was number 91.
That's Derek Ray Jr.
Derek Ray Jr. couldn't come away with the tackle for loss right there. That would have been for about 5 yards right there. But his teammates were able to come clean up and maybe get about a loss of 2 right there.
And anybody that plays defense know that you've been taught that as long as you get there should be about 4 or 5 other jerseys right behind you to kind of clean it up. The Panthers were able to do that successfully on that last play.
So 11:34 remaining here in the second quarter. Panthers leading by a score of 7-0. The Hornets are looking at a 2nd and 12 right now. Ball spotted at the old 39-yard line. Stewart under center. Going to fake the handoff. Looking to roll out to his left. Being contained by Mr. Ray Lewis again, but he's going to throw this ball and be complete to number 11, Jace Medlock.
Yeah.
And somehow he got that ball off. It could have been a big loss of a game right there.
Yeah, Derek Ray Jr. is kind of beating himself up on that last play because he knew that the sack was just in arm's reach. However, the pursuit that he was able to get up Mr. Stewart was just enough to allow Stewart to do nothing else but just throw the ball away. So even though he wasn't able to be credited with the sack, the hot pursuit on Stewart was just enough to get the job done.
Yeah, but that reception was only able to go back to the line of scrimmage of no gain right there. So now we're looking at back at a 3rd down and 12 now for the Hornets. Taking the man in motion, Stewart in the shotgun formation, looking to pass. Has an intended receiver going to be in and out of the hands of the intended receiver number 10, Isaiah Stewart.
Yes, sir.
So that's going to bring up a 4th down now.
Yes, sir. The linebacker, Travion Green, was on coverage on that last play for the Panthers. He was all over him on that play, so he didn't have an opportunity to catch that one. So once again, Panthers offensively able to come through, able to get off the field and get this ball back into the hands of Trayvon Conley and company. We'll see what they can do with it here with 10:30 to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah, we're going to see if the Panthers can try and just add on to this lead right now. They have the early momentum. It kind of seems like it's kind of stalled down just a little bit right now. We're going to see if they can kind of get things clicking back on that offense. So now this punt's going to be made by number 46, Harrison Tucker. Got a better snap this time and able to punt it off away to number 0, Mr. Brian Jenkins. And Mr. Jenkins is able to fair catch, and that's where the Panthers are going to have it starting at their own 25-yard line.
One of the things to note offensively for the Panthers, we haven't seen Mr. Ahmad Antoine in the backfield for the Panthers. He's the leading rusher for the Panthers offensively. He's top 10 in the SWAC in terms of rushing for this 2023 campaign. We've seen Connor Wisham. We've seen Caleb Johnson, and then to start the game is Jamario Brooks, but no Ahmad Antoine so far for this game.
So we're going to see if Mr. Ahmad Antoine can make his presence known this next drive that the Panthers take here. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
Join us daily for Southwestern Athletic Conference and Prairie View A&M University Panthers coverage on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. By far, we are the only network in the community that is providing this type of coverage each and every day for the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. Don't forget, you can join in on the website at obnradio.com. Click on the 24-hour stream, listen to content that way, or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here at Prairie View A&M University, here on the Hill, for the Panthers, like I said, on quest for the test. If they can come out with a victory right here, they will be playing in Tallahassee, Florida, taking on FAMU for the SWAC championship.
Quest for the test. I like that, Bill. If I steal that throughout the course of this game, charge it to my heart. Charge it to my heart. Quest for the test.
And now the Panthers are looking at some decent field position here, moving from our left to right. Now, ball's going to be spotted at their own 25-yard line. There's 10 minutes and 23 seconds to go here in the second quarter. The Panthers did win the toss to start off the game, so they will receive the ball the second half of play whenever that gets started. So far, so good. The Panthers have shown and shut down this Hornets offense.
And we see here Caleb Johnson will be the running back for the Panthers to start this drive. He had his first drive on the previous drive, has picked up some positive yards. We'll see if they go back to Mr. Johnson here to start this next drive.
Trayvon Conley's offense ready to go. 2 receivers to Conley's left, 1 to his right. Now he's going to signal Mr. Bloomfield in motion. He's going to hand this off to Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson's going to get about a gain of about 4 or 5 yards right there. We'll say he got about 4, so it's going to be a second down and 6 now for the Panthers.
So you see right there offensively, the Panthers kind of used Mr. Jaquan Bloomfield more so kind of as a decoy. They was always planning on getting the ball to Caleb Johnson, but kind of used Jaquan Bloomfield as a decoy to kind of throw the Hornets off defensively.
I'm going to say he got 5 yards exactly on that. So second down and 5 now for the Panthers. Ball's going to be handed off to Mr. Johnson once again, and Johnson trying to chug those feet and maybe be at the first down marker behind spot of Jenners. The officials try to mark him.
Yeah, Johnson is running with some authority here on this drive as he goes off on the sideline. Probably just to get him a quick breather. He's been running with some authority here on these first 2 drives. And he looks like he was about a yard shy of the first down. He took about 3 Hornets with him, just enough to pick up the first down.
As Mr. Armand Antoine now comes in for Mr. Caleb Johnson for the quick substitution as Mr. Conley in the shotgun formation is going to hand this off to Mr. Armand Antoine. Mr. Armand Antoine is going to be met immediately at the line of scrimmage.
What I call a textbook tackle is what we saw on that last play. The linebacker, DeMarcus Cunningham, for the Hornets, just beating Ahmad Antoine right there at the line of scrimmage, only able to pick up. Actually, maybe he didn't pick up any yards.
No,
got right back to the line of scrimmage
there.
just enough. It appears that the Panthers trying to rely on this run game here on this drive.
So Conley in action, ready to go. 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Going to hand it off to Mr. Armand Antoine once again. And Mr. Armand Antoine's going to be thrown down, but not after picking up about 7-8 yards right there.
Got a little pushing and shoving going on after that last play. Ahmad Antoine, he may have not liked the fact that he was kind of thrown down to the ground. He may feel like that was maybe just a little bit too much.
Just a little bit too much, but able to pick up 8 yards right there was Mr. Armand Antoine. He makes his way back to the sideline coming in. Apparently number 3, Caleb Johnson. So Trayvon Conley, the shotgun formation. Caleb Johnson in the backfield with him. A little hard count right there. Try to get the Hornets to jump off sides, but just no avail. They stand their ground, still on sides. So now Conley's ready to go. 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Moving from our left to right. This ball's going to be fake the handoff to Mr. Caleb Johnson. Conley is going to try and get enough for the first down, and he's going to do so. Only needed 2 and got 3.
Yes, sir. Now 3 first downs for the Panthers here on this drive, all by runs. Not a single pass attempted so far here on this drive for the Panthers.
Panthers are moving this ball down the field right now with 7:54 remaining here in the second quarter, leading by a score of 7-0. Panthers just trying to add on to that lead.
And I like the physicality of the Panthers right now. The Hornets tried to show some of that physicality in the first quarter. It appears that the Panthers are trying to do the exact same thing, trying to match it, if you will.
Now Conley in the shotgun formation has time to throw, takes a shot downfield, trying to commit with Samir Savin. That ball's going to be intercepted by the Hornets. Tried to take a shot downfield on the man coverage, but well covered right there by the Hornets with number 7, Mikey Victor.
Yeah, it appears that he was trying to hit Mr. Shamar Savage on that last play. It appears that it was a one-on-one coverage, which is why Conley may have decided to attempt to pass to Mr. Shamar Savage, but the safety kind of came over at the last minute just to help out, and he was able to pick that one off on that play.
So now the Panthers committed their first turnover in this game, and now the Hornets have it. Ball is spotted at their own 7-yard line. Moving from our right to left now, making some quick substitution in their alignment is the Hornets. Going back in the I formation is Stewart. In the backfield with them is number 8, Jawan Howell. This ball is going to be handed off to Mr. Jawan Howell, and Jawan Howell is maybe going to get back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the Panthers were able to great pursuit on that play defensively by the Panthers, only able to get back to the line of scrimmage. And going back to that last play, you know, to go from completing 60% of your passes last week against Southern, not a single turnover. Traylon Thompson commits his first turnover here in this drive. Hopefully it's the one and only.
Well, I got to correct you right there. He did have that turnover with the fumble.
So,
we got
interception, no interception.
We can't do no more here, Mr.
No
Collins.
interception.
As we get to go here, and this ball is going to be handed off to Mr. 8 again, Jawan Howell, and Howell gets about a yard right there.
Panthers are kind of tightened up defensively on the front line. It appears that so far here in this ball game, the Panthers are winning the front line battle defensively here in this game.
Yes, sir. Not allowing that Hornets offense to run the ball like they want to. They have been able to have time to throw the ball all day, but haven't really picked up. Only got 1 sack so far. So we're going to see if the Panthers can try and pick up another sack right here. 3rd down and 9 now for the Panthers. For the Hornets. Stewart rolling out to his right, and this ball is going to be completed to number 10, Isaiah Stewart, on a sliding catch. Nice catch by Mr. Stewart right there.
And the quarterback, Stewart, kept that play. He made that play happen by keeping his eyes downfield. I mean, the Panthers were in hot pursuit of Stewart. He was able to roll out the pocket, able to keep his eyes downfield and complete that pass to his guy, Stewart.
Yes, sir. Picking up 35 yards right there on the reception as little stoppage in the play right now. He's trying to get this chain situated. And now they're going to take another look at it just to see if Mr. Stewart came away clean with that catch. And we're going to stay right here just to kind of go over that play. For the last shot, it looked like it was a clean catch from our point of view. But they're going to take another look at it just in case, as if it stands, that will be a 35-yard reception from Mr. Stewart. That is Damon Stewart to Isaiah Stewart. And like I said, that should be a huge gain right now for the Hornets. They had the ball at their own 8-yard line. It looked like they would have to be putting the ball off once again.
And Stewart, the quarterback Stewart, actually had 2 guys open downfield along with his guy, David Stewart. He also had Keyshawn Johnson right behind him. And that's originally that I anticipated him getting that pass to, because, again, he was able to roll out the pocket. The Panthers were in hot pursuit. He kept his eyes downfield. He avoided the pressure, and he was able to complete that pass. So far as it stands, he was able to complete that pass downfield to his guy, Stewart. So you got to give credit to the quarterback for making that thing happen.
Yes, sir. We just want to take the time to thank our sponsors who are bringing you today's coverage, Prairie View Athletic Club, and the Backers, and the Timberland Refuge Ministry. And also, if you want to take your time to call after the game, call the 1856 After Party Post-Game Show with Dr. Michael Prince. And we'd love to hear your thoughts and concerns, questions, anything you might have at our 24-hour message line. You can call at 720-721-1558. And be sure to check out our 24-hour stream featuring interviews and our other special events surrounding student athletics. Check it out at the obnradio.com. So as we get set to go here, they're still kind of overviewing the play right now. Just trying to see, again, if Mr. Stewart, Isaiah Stewart that is, who came away clean with the catch.
Yeah, it was a rule to catch on the field, so now they're looking to determine if there's enough evidence to overturn the call, because it was a completed catch on the field. Was he able to get under it? Was there any bobbling of the ball?
So the ruling on the field is going to stand. Felt like that took a little bit longer than what needed here, because it didn't seem much bobble to that, but they just wanted to make sure they got everything corrected, as now the Hornets moving from our right to left. Having the ball spotted at their own 38-yard line.
Setup right now. We'll see if the Panthers can get some pressure on Mr. Stewart. They've been doing a pretty decent job of that so far.
So now the
Panthers gets a warning.
He's got
to calm it down when the opposing team is on offense. Have to cool it down.
So now it'll be 1st and 10 now for Isaiah Stewart. Mr. Damon Stewart in his offense, and this ball's going to be completed to, once again, the workhorse, Keyshawn Johnson. Keyshawn Johnson is able to get about 6 yards on that catch and run.
Yeah, he was able to get about 6 yards. So DeJohn Lewis was a cornerback covering Mr. Keyshawn Johnson. It appears that the Panthers have tried to put different guys on him. Again, so far he has been the offense of the Hornets, even though they scoreless here in this ball game. So we'll see how that continues to unfold throughout the course of this game.
4:55 remaining here in the second quarter. The Hornets are trying to at least tie this contest before going into halftime. Shotgun formation for Stewart. 3 receivers to his right, 1 to the left. Fake the handoff is going to be connected to number 1, Keyshawn Johnson on the bubble screen. And Keyshawn Johnson is going to have another first down running on the sideline on the right side right there.
This young man might need an oxygen mask at halftime just kind of catch his breath. I mean, they lined him up on that bubble route on that last play, and they've done that quite often throughout this ball game. And now they're lined up on the left side now in the exact same bunch formation.
So we're going to see what the Hornets try to draw up right now as in his empty back. Now he signaled his running back in there, Mr. Howell, with Mr. Stewart. So we got 3 receivers, 2. Damon Stewart's left, 1 to his right. The ball's going to be handed off to Howell, and Howell's going to maybe get about 3 yards on that carry.
Yeah, only about 3 yards on that carry. We don't have the official numbers in front of us just yet, but I'm interested to see how many total yards on the ground the Hornets have at halftime, because they haven't really had much success on the ground here in this first half. Any success they've had offensively has been through the air, mainly to number 1, Mr. Keyshawn Johnson. They've pretty much been moving him all over the field so far.
Yes, sir. Clock that steady, clicking down. 3:34 remaining here as Mr. Stewart's going to try and pass this out to number 10, Isaiah Stewart, and that's going to be blowing up for about maybe no gain right there.
Yeah, that was blown up by the linebacker, Travion Green, and he's been doing exceptionally well for the Panthers covering so far here in this ball game.
Yes, sir. It was partly cloudy for a little bit, as you can see the sun kind of making its presence known in this game, as the Hornets now are looking at a 3rd down and 7. Let's say he picked up a yard right there on the reception. So 3rd down and 7 down. Ball is spotted at the Panthers' 43-yard line. 2:55 remaining here in the second quarter. Damon Stewart looking to pass. Step in the pocket. Rolling out to his right. Has no one in sight. Now he's going to try and just complete this downfield. And this ball's going to be broken up, well covered right there, coming in late for the Panthers.
Yes, sir. Terrell Coleman Jr. on the coverage for the Panthers, able to get in there at the last minute to break that one up. The Panthers stand tall yet again on 3rd down here in this first half. The Hornets are now under 50% in terms of 3rd down completion so far here in this ball game. Great job by the Panthers defensively to stand tall.
Yes, sir. They got Damon Stewart to roll out to his left, then to his right, and then just tried to heave it up and tried to complete that pass to number 8, his running back, Juwan Howell. But once again, breaking up well right there by the Panthers. So now another muff punt right there, but able to manage to kick it off and get it away to Mr. Zero, Brian Jenkins Jr., able to get that put off with number 46, Harrison Tuck, and Mr. Tuck is having himself a busy day so far.
and you wonder, and not just a busy day, but there's been a lot of hiccups in terms of the punting situation for the Hornets. You know, it makes you wonder if that's going to be something they may try to tighten up at halftime for the second half.
Yes, sir. So we're going to take a quick break. Remind you are listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network. The Panthers on top right now by a score of 7-0 with 2:36 to go in the second quarter.
The birth of legends are storied in this conference. We must never forget our rich history. We now turn our gaze to the future. The new legends will emerge. New heroes to arise. The Southwestern Athletic Conference. Our history.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here at Prairie A&M campus. Well, the Panthers on top right now by a score of 7-0, Mr. Andre.
Yes, sir. And you mentioned during our pregame show that the Panthers were coming in, giving up the second most points allowed in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. So far, they're pitching the shutout here, at least almost through 2 quarters of play. We still have 2:36 to go here in the second quarter, but they pitched the shutout so far here in this first half. This defense definitely ate ate their vegetables last night. I don't. They had their creatine this morning. Whatever you want to call it, this defense for the Panthers have shown up and shown out. And you can give credit to the defense for the Hornets as well, because again, with the exception of the 1 yard touchdown score by the Panthers on their second drive offensively, the defense of the Hornets have pretty much showed up for them as well.
Absolutely. If the Hornets weren't able to give away great field position right there, it might have been a different ball game. But we can't be on the coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Right. We could easily be looking at a 0-0 score, but we're not. It's 7-0 in favor of the Panthers. But huge shout out by the way both of the defenses have been playing so far. Now we have the offense of the Panthers and see if they can get something going here with Mr. Trayvon Conley and company.
Yes, sir. Mr. Trayvon Conley is now moving from our left to right. Ball is spotted at his own 8-yard line. Just going to see if they can try and add on to this lead heading into halftime. Trayvon Conley's going to keep this one to run up the middle and maybe get about 2 yards on that carry.
One of the things I can mention, Phil, with the read option that the Panthers are showing here offensively, it appears that we're kind of seeing the old Trayvon Conley from 2022 and the fact that Bo McDowell is allowing Conley to use him as the entire package. He's a dual threat quarterback. He can throw the ball, but he can also use his legs too.
Yes, sir.
He's been doing that so far here in this game.
Just kind of building off that momentum from last week. He was able to capitalize and make the big play at the right time with his legs. So we're going to see if that can carry over into this game right now. So right now, the Panthers looking at a 2nd down and 8. 1:55 remaining here in the second quarter. This ball is going to be handed off to Mr. number 27, Jameer Brooks. And Mr. Jameer Brooks is going to get about almost back to the 25-yard line now.
Yeah, huge burst up the middle by Mr. Jameer Brooks. And it appears that he didn't really have much of a lane. He kind of created one.
Yes, sir. Mr. Jameer Brooks is going to get this carry now. And he's going to be met immediately by the Alabama State Hornets.
Yes, sir. Number 67, Mr. Arlius Dunn for the Hornets. Great pursuit defensively by him on that play.
So now the Panthers making some quick substitution coming in now at the back will be number 5, Mr. Ahmad Antoine. The Panthers kind of taking their time right now. They like the things that they're going with. They're up for the lead. They're going to get the ball to start the second half. 1 minute and 10 now on the game clock. 18 seconds remaining on the play clock.
They're likely going to try to run this clock down as much as possible. They don't want to give the ball back to the Hornets to even try to give them an opportunity to try to put some last-minute points on the board.
Yes, sir. They want to take any momentum they can head into halftime. So shotgun formation for Conley. The ball's going to be handed off to Ahmad Antoine, running to the left side. He's going to slide down to avoid any other extra hits. And maybe going to pick up about 5 yards on that. So
more importantly, clock continues to roll with about 35 seconds to go.
Yes, sir. It's going to just take their time and take their chances as they maybe have enough time to get off one more play. Looking at a 3rd down and 6 now. 25 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. 22 seconds now on the game clock. 16 seconds remaining on the play clock. And again, Trayvon Collins obviously just taking their time.
Yep, going to take it all the way down to the final second before you snap the ball. And this will likely be the last play here this first half.
This ball's going to be handed up to Mr. Ahmad Antoine, running up on the left side, and he's going to have enough for the first down. But like you said, might be it for the first half, as they're just going to stop the clock for a second to get the chain situated. But the Panthers are already going to make their way towards the locker rooms, and that will conclude the first half of play. As right now, the Panthers lead right now by a score of 7-0 here in Prairie View A&M, Texas, here at Prairie View A&M University campus. And so far, so good. Things are looking right for the Panthers. We're going to see if they can finish the job and come back playing some clean second half football. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be sure to give you some first half stats. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here at Prairie A&M University, where the Panthers right now are leading by a score of 7-0 over the Alabama State Hornets. And the Panthers will have the kickoff. We'll receive the kickoff to start off the second half of play. So far, the Panthers have done the job that they've needed to come through and come out with a victory and having a successful way of winning the West so far, Mr. J.
I think this is going to come down to a grimy second half. Both the teams were very physical in the first half. The Alabama State Hornets trying to display their physical dominance in that first quarter, and then the Panthers trying to display their physical dominance in the second quarter. Kind of appears to be kind of flip side, if you will. Offensively, the Hornets have been having some success, even though they haven't scored yet. They've been having some success through the air, not so much on the ground. And for the Panthers offensively, it's been flipped. Not really been having much success through the air, been having some success on the ground, again, with the exception of the 1-yard touchdown score by Mr. David Murray. Panthers really haven't been able to sustain a drive offensively, but either the defense got shot with some adrenaline before the game because they don't appear tired, and they played majority of this ball game, but they don't appear tired. They've been standing tall on third down so far. We'll see if they can do it here in the second half.
Yes, sir. Like I said, if you love defense, this is your game to be listening to or attending. So now the Panthers are set to go to receive this kick. Will be number 0, Brian Jenkins, and number 22, Terrell Coleman Jr. And Mr. Coleman Jr. is going to get this one back to about his own 19-yard line, and that's where the Panthers will have this one to start off the second half of football. And you're going to get some scoring throughout the SWAC right now. Alcorn State and Jackson State are tied right now at 14 apiece at halftime. Texas Southern's on top of Arkansas Pine Bluff by a score of 28-7 with 4:37 to go in the second quarter. And Florida A&M is up 14-0 over Bethune-Cookman right now with 7:37 to go in the second quarter. So as we get set to go here in our contest, Prairie View's on top right now by a score of 7-0, and they're going to get their first drive starting at their own 19-yard line.
You mentioned a defensive ball game. I know a particular person in mind who loves defensive games. We'll talk about that later.
So as we get set to go here, Trayvon Collins in the shotgun formation, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to his right. He's going to hand it off to the tailback, Mr. Armand Antoine. And Mr. Armand Antoine, it was Caleb Johnson on the carry as to save the Alabama A&M Hornets. They came up with the ball last second trying to run into the end zone, but to say he's going to be already down.
Yes, he was definitely already down on the play. Yeah, he was definitely already down on the play, so it'll be second down for the Panthers, and the Panthers are picking right back up where they left off in the second quarter, trying to start things off with the run game here on their opening drive of the third quarter.
Yes, sir. Like we said, one of the key victories here, they need to have a strong second half performance, so we're going to see if they can do that right here with this first drive. So Trayvon Collins looking to pass, and he's going to connect with number 6, Jaquan Bloomfield, and Bloomfield's going to have enough for the first down.
So Trayvon Collins finally able to connect with one of his favorite targets in Jaquan Bloomfield. He attempted 3 passes to Bloomfield in the first half, wasn't able to get the ball to him. Finally makes the connection there to start this drive of the third quarter.
Yes, sir. Picking up 18 yards on that reception was Mr. Bloomfield. So now the Panthers have a first down and 10. Now ball is spotted at their own 30-yard line, moving from our right to left. As they get set to go here, Caleb Johnson in the backfield with Trayvon Collins. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to his right. Now he's signals Mr. Brian Jenkins in motion. That's going to hike the ball. He's going to hand it off to Mr. Caleb Johnson once again. Johnson running up on the left side and is going to be stopped about 2 yards shy of the first down.
Mr. Brian Jenkins going in motion on that last play is what ultimately created that play for Mr. Caleb Johnson. And that's what the Panthers are going to have to do. They're going to have to move some pieces around on offense. Going to have to, send some guys in motion to kind of open up some things for them offensively.
We're going to see if they can keep things clicking on the right way with that running attack. And so far, they were able to run positively what they needed right there, like for 8 yards. So this ball's going to be handed off to Caleb Johnson once again, and Johnson's going to pick up the 3 yards right there. Only needed 2, but now he got 3.
Caleb Johnson being the workhorse offensive for the Panthers on the ground to start this second half. He led the way for them. Running the ball with 30 yards rushing in that first half on just 4 carries in that first half. So picking things up where he left off in the first half as well.
12:34 remaining here in the second quarter. Panthers looking to attack on their first drive in the second half. Shotgun formation for Trayvon Collins in his offense. 1 receiver to his left, 1 to his right. He's going to hand it off to Caleb Johnson. Johnson trying to hit the outside, moving, diving, and finally going to run and be tripped up to the left side of the field, and going to have enough for the first down is Mr. Caleb Johnson.
Not just a great run by Mr. Caleb Johnson as he goes off on the sideline. Jamario Brooks comes in for his substitution, but his ability to keep his eyes downfield on that last play, he made the necessary cuts on that last play to pick up the first down.
Yes, sir. Again, Prairie coming wearing the gold helmets, the purple tops, the white bottoms with the gold stripes on the side, trying to move down on this field. We're from our right to left. Excuse me, left to right. I should say the ball going to hand off to Brooks once again. Brooks is going to bulldoze his way up for about 6 yards right there on that carry.
Ground and pound is the name of the game. Ground and pound, something that the Panthers have done successfully for this 2023 campaign. And as you mentioned before this game started, stick to what you know. Don't try to overthink it. So far, the Panthers are doing that here offensively here to start this third quarter.
Ball's now across midfield onto the Hornets territory. Ball's officially spotted at the Alabama State 42-yard line. This ball's going to be handed off to Jameer Brooks once again. And Jameer Brooks only needed 4 to pick up the first down. So he pick up 6 yards right there.
And even though that the Panthers offensively have been going with the run to start this drive, I've noticed that the Hornets haven't tried to stack the box at all. Not one bit. The Panthers are still kind of keeping them spread out, and they're just running right up the middle.
So now the Panthers have another first down, keeping this drive alive. 10:44 remaining now in the second quarter. Trayvon Collins is going to hand it off to Jameer Brooks once again. Jameer Brooks running on the left side. The ball is loose. We're going to see if Alabama covered it. And
the Panthers may have, it looks like they got on it at the last minute.
Just right there, the Panthers called a break, and Jameer Brooks is going to come to the sidelines. And Antoine's going to come in for him. And right there, Mr. Brooks was able to pick up about 6 yards, but after the ball came loose and the Panthers were able to fall back on it, the Panthers are looking now at a second down and 2.
With these substitutions that the Panthers are doing at the running back position, kind of keeping these running backs fresh, that's what's been allowing them to have so much success on the ground so far here on this opening drive. You've had now 3 running backs get touches so far here on this opening drive for the Panthers.
So now Trayvon Collins in shotgun formation, one receiver to his left, one to his right, looking to pass. The ball's going to be completed to number 10.
Trajan Spiller.
Trajan Spiller is going to have enough for the first down. I'm going to say he picked up about 3 yards on the reception.
So it appears that maybe the Panthers may have now taken a page out of the Hornets playbook, using the run to kind of set up the pass, kind of Trajan Spiller with the one-on-one coverage on the outside there, picked up just enough yards to get the first down for the Panthers.
So now ball is spotted at the Alabama State 25-yard line. Shotgun formation for Trayvon Collins. Once again, the ball's going to be handed off to Amon Antoine. Amon Antoine's going to run to his own lineman back, but then going to be cleaned up right away by a host of Hornets right there.
Well, the front line of the Hornets said enough is enough on that on that last play, and they were waiting for Mr. Amon Antoine. But right on cue, Caleb Johnson checks in for Amon Antoine. It appears that he may have called himself a breather, so now he'll be the running back in the backfield on the second down play.
So we're going to say Mr. Amon Antoine actually lost a yard right there on that last carry, so it's going to bring up a second down at 11 now for the Panthers. 8:52 remaining here in the second quarter. Panthers leading by a score of 7-0. Shotgun formation for Collins. Collins going to hand it off to Mr. Caleb Johnson. Caleb Johnson going to run to the left side, and Collins run out of bounds, but not after picking up about 8 yards on that carry. You want to say he picked up 9 yards. So now the Panthers are looking at a third down and 8. Third down and 8 now for the Panthers. Nice run right there by Caleb Johnson, turning on the Jets to hit the outside lane. 2-yard shot for the first down. So now we're going to see if the Panthers pick up the 2 yards that they need to keep this drive alive. The ball's going to be handed off to Caleb Johnson once again, and Caleb Johnson is going to bulldoze his way and fall forward. Picked up 3 yards right there. So now that keeps the chains moving once again.
Keeps the chains moving once again. And you mentioned, if you're a defensive person and you're enjoying this game, if you're an old school person, you're enjoying grounding and pounding. What the Panthers are doing, only attempted 2 passes so far here on this drive. It's been all runs so far, grounding and pounding. They're now inside the 20-yard line, first down for the Panthers.
So now the Panthers have a great time to add on to this lead right now. This ball's going to be fake the handoff. Was Conley faking it to Caleb Johnson. Is going to keep it himself and just going to slide forward to the left side of the field, picking up about 2 yards on the carry.
So on cue, Trayvon Conley pulls it on that last play. Typically, it appears that the Panthers offensively has just been setting up the Hornets, handing off to the running back, handing it off, waiting for that outside linebacker to cheat down inside. Conley pulled it at the last minute. Probably didn't pick up as many yards as he would have liked to on that last play.
So now the Panthers are kind of taking their time now. 7:09 now remaining here in the second quarter. They're just taking their time here, picking up a nice lengthy play drive set up right here. Initially started at their own 19-yard line. So now as soon as a man in motion, Conley rolling out to his right, has intended receiver connecting with Brian Jenkins. Brian Jenkins is still on his feet trying to push up to the first down. Going to have enough for the first down. Going to be shy of the goal line. Going to be about a yard shy. So after that reception picked up 11 yards was Mr. Brian Jenkins on the catch and run.
Yes, sir. We got a little bit of chirping going on at the end of that play between Mr. Brian Jenkins and one of the defenders of the Hornets. See if the officials were able to kind of get things under control. But Brian Jenkins just would not be denied on that last play. Got some help from his teammates as well.
And we're going to see if the Panthers try to go back to that goal line formation and they light-handed it off to their fullback tight end, David Murray, number 89. They're going to do that just right there. We're going to see what they call. And they're going to be in for the touchdown, the 1-yard touchdown for David Murray. Got some pushing and shoving going in after the play right there. But right now the play does stand. We're going to see if they decide to take another look at it. But from our advantage point, it's like David Murray was able to get that ball across the goal line before being downed.
The Prairie View A&M University Panthers driving it from their own 19-yard line, nearly the length of the entire football field, grounding and pounding. Only 3 passes attempted on this drive. Excellent job by the Panthers as that kick is good. 14-0 is now our score. Not just the ground and the pounding field, but the fact that we have 6:08 left here in the third quarter. This was the opening drive of the third quarter.
Absolutely.
6:08 to go.
Absolutely. I want to look at that time of possession from the first half, but so far the Panthers were able to control, like I said, that first opening drive here in the second half, and now they added on to the lead with the Billy Gomez point at this being successful. So now, like you said, 6:08 remaining here in the second quarter. The Panthers have added on to the lead, 14-0, and so far so good. The Panthers looking like they're trying to run away with the West now.
Well, the tight end David Murray has to be smiling from cheek to cheek as he has capitalized on not one but 2 successes. One caused by the opposing punting team of the Alabama State Hornets, got the ball on the 1-yard line. On this particular case, capitalized on the fact that the Panthers offensively drove near the length of the football field, got it inside the 5-yard line due to Brian Jenkins not being denied on his reception. And once again, the tight end David Murray able to capitalize on the success of the Panthers driving the ball down the length of the field. 14-0 Panthers looking strong so far.
And you love to see the efficiency by David Murray. 2 touches, 2 yards.
2 touches.
That's all you need to see. And the Panthers are pretty much on Mr. David Murray's back right now.
His fantasy points are going through the roof right now. 2 touches, 2 touchdowns.
So we want to take this time and just like I said, thank our sponsors who are bringing you today's game. And we wouldn't be able to bring that game without their support. The Prairie View Athletic Club, serving student athletes since 1986. For more information, I'll become a member. Dial 936-857-5817. Be sure to ask for Greg Austin. The Panther Backer, serving student athletes since 1995. For more information on how to become a member, contact Dino Robinson at 713-417-2090. And the Temple of Refuge Ministries. Remember, you can always listen live each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time by dialing 857-777-000. Building the kingdom one soul at a time. And we'll go back and kind of link to these key points that the Panthers needed to go to victory. So far, so good. They've come out to a strong second half. Of course, it's not over yet, but when you're able to drive the length of the field and manage to take off half the clock off throughout the third quarter, you got pretty good things going in your favor so far.
Yes, sir. And the Panthers were able to do that successfully. Time management, some of the Panthers been able to do quite well for this 2023 campaign. But the fact that we saw it there on their opening drive, the ground and pound that they did, and again, the ability to keep these running backs fresh between Ahmad Antoine. We didn't see Connor Wisham, but Ahmad Antoine, Caleb Johnson, and Jamario Bush were able to get the job done for the Panthers. Even Trayvon Conley was able to pull it with the read option whenever he needed to, kind of setting up the Hornets defensively. Great job offensively by the Panthers on that last drive.
So Villa Gomez set to kick from his own 35-yard line to number 87, Robert McMinn. And McMinn's going to have this, trying to make a nice return spinning, going to finally be knocked down, but going to have good field position for the Hornets. Going to be officially spotted at his own 32-yard line. Correction, that was number 80 for the Hornets. Now there's a little switcheroo on us right there. Trying to get that young man's name pronounced here in a little second. He has got a nice return right there.
Yeah, that was Cayman Barnes, the receiver for the Hornets on that kick return for the Hornets. As the Panthers defense come on the field, it's going to be interesting to see what adjustments they make to the receiver of the Hornets. Mr. Keyshawn Johnson had over 70 yards reception in that first half. Definitely the workhorse for the Hornets offensively.
Yes, sir. As it was partly cloudy, and the sun has made his presence well announced in this game again. So now, shotgun formation for Stewart, and Stewart's going to hand this off to Mr. Harris the second. But Mr. Harris going to be met immediately at the line of scrimmage by Keyshawn Johnson initially, but was able to bounce off the tackle and get about 3 yards in the carry. Yeah,
Keyshawn Johnson was able to met him. Wasn't able to wrap him up, but he was able to get there to kind of slow him down, and several of the Panthers were there to kind of clean up for Mr. Keyshawn Johnson.
So second down at 7 now for the Hornets. Ball is spotted at the own 35-yard line, moving from right to left. 5:26 remaining here in the third quarter. Hornets trailing by a score of 14-0, so they're trying to see if they can at least cut this lead into hand. And this ball is going to be completed to the intended receiver, number 13, and he's making his way out there, shoving off the defenders and keeping the drive alive, but it's going to be shy the first down.
Yeah, that was Mr. Tyree Saunders on that play, and he was hit immediately once he caught the ball, but great job on Mr. Saunders, able to stay focused and avoid the hit that picked up some additional yards for the Hornets. Now they're looking at what would have been third and long, now third and manageable.
Yes, sir. It was a hard 4 yards for Mr. Sanders, but able to keep a better third and manageable now for the Hornets. So now Stewart is in the shotgun formation. He has 3 receivers to his right, 1 to the left in the empty backfield. As he's man in motion now, Stewart gets the snap. Drop back, look at this pass. Has the ball tipped out of his hand, but we're going to see if it gets considered a fumble. And the ball's going to be covered by Stewart, but he's going to have a big loss right there.
Wow.
A huge loss. The ball's going to be spotted all the way back at their own 13-yard line.
Calvin Presley able to get in there and knock that ball away. Great job by Mr. Calvin Presley. The transfer from Villanova, able to get in there on that last play.
So far, like I said, they're not going back to look at another look at it, but it's going to stand as a fumble. And luckily, the Hornets were able to fall back on it. It was Mr. Stewart, but now it's just like I said, it's a 4th and 39.
And it appears that Stewart was dropping back to pass. It appears that his arm was trying to go forward, but that ball came out right before his arm went forward, and that's why they ruled it a fumble.
As punt goes and received by number 0, Brian Jenkins. And Brian Jenkins is going to go down. Maybe picked up about 3 yards on the catch and run, so he comes up limping after that.
That's not a good. May not be a good sign. He's trying to walk off on his own power.
So we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be giving you more of the third quarter of play. Panthers on top by a score of 14-0. You're all listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
The Prairie View Athletic Club has been serving and supporting student athletes since 1986. This group of volunteers believe in supporting and the motto that Prairie View produces productive people. For more information on how you can become part of this winning team, simply dial 936-857-5817. Every time you support the Prairie View Athletic Club, you are supporting Prairie View Athletics, and it is also tax deductible. So once again, for more information on how to become a member of the Prairie View Athletic Club, simply dial 936-857-5817. Who you rooting for? PVU.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Prairie View, Texas, where the Panthers right now on top by a score of 14-0 over the Alabama State Hornets. And if the Panthers can come through they will conquer the West, Mr. Davis.
Yes, they will conquer what has been the Wild Wild West for this 2023 campaign. As we mentioned before, a victory today by the Panthers. They're in. Nothing else matters. And as broadcast, we still have to, lay out the possibility that the Panthers aren't victorious today. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're out of it. Now, at that point, you have to rely on other teams to either win or lose, depending on the team, in order for you to get in. And speaking of which, other scores as the team's still making their way onto the field running Southwestern Athletic Conference. Alcorn State taking on Jackson State, one of the key games that we're going to be focusing on here this afternoon. 14-14 of that ball game is at halftime. Texas Southern on top of Arkansas Pine Bluff by the score of 31-7 at halftime for that game. And the Florida Classic is underway between Florida A&M and Bethune-Cookman. Florida A&M on top of Bethune-Cookman by the score of 17-0.
As the Panthers make their way back onto the field, as well as the Hornets, the Panthers are trying to just add on to this lead, just get themselves some extra cushion as this ball is going to be kept by Conley. Fake the handoff to Ahmad Antoine. He's going to run up to the right side of the field and just going to maybe get about a yard right there.
Yeah, only able to pick up a yard is a solid pursuit by the Hornets defense on that play. Trayvon Conley decides, I want to try to get some action. You guys got all the action on the previous drive. I want to get in on some of the action. Only able to pick up a yard on that last play.
The Panthers are moving from our left to right. Ball is now spotted at their own 42-yard line. They have great field position to start off this drive. Started at their own 41, so now Conley's going to hand these off to Ahmad Antoine. Ahmad Antoine running up the middle of the field to the right side and maybe going to have about 4 yards on that. You're trying to see that the Hornets were trying to rip that ball out last second.
Yeah, and it was a tough 4 yards by Mr. Ahmad Antoine. It appears that the Hornets were kind of anticipating run yet again on that last play. Panthers may need to try to mix some things up offensively, try to get some guys in motion, maybe run a little misdirection, just try to get the Hornets guessing defensively.
So now it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5 now for the Panthers. 2:22 remaining here in the third quarter. Ball is spotted at their own 46-yard line. They only need 5 to pick up the first down. Shotgun formation for Trayvon Collins. Signal Shamir Savage in shotgun formation. Signal Lamotion. He's going to connect with Shamir Savage once again. And Shamir Savage is going to have a big catch and run. Going to be on to the Hornets side of territory. And officially going to be spotted at the Hornets 27-yard line.
So not only great pass by Mr. Trayvon Collins to hook up with Shamar Savage, but it was also great play calling by the Panthers as well. The Hornets brought the house on that last play. Ultimately, that freed things up in the open in the middle of the field, and Shamar Savage was wide open on that last play.
And stay tuned right there. Mr. Shamar Savage comes up limping off the field, looking like he's into a shoulder injury right there, so we'll be mindful. See if he can try and make his way back into the game right now. But the Panthers are cooking up another good drive right here. The 1st and 10 ball is spotted at the Hornets 27-yard line. 1:22 now remaining in the third quarter. Conley looking to pass. He's going to roll out to his right. Has an intended receiver, but he's going to just throw it down of bounds. Was intended for number 10, Trayvon Spiller, but to no avail. Was well contained out there by the Hornets defense, but just had to throw that one out of bounds.
Yeah, it was great containment, but more importantly, it was great pursuit by the Hornets defense to Trayvon Conley. He was rolling out the pocket. It appears that he had to just kind of get rid of it. Didn't quite really get much arm under it as he was getting pressured on that last play.
So now it's going to break up a 2nd down and 10 now for the Prairie View A&M Panthers. Clock stopped at 1:14. Ball is spotted at the Hornets 27-yard line. They are in field goal range right now, but I'm pretty sure they want to do more than just put on 3. So as this ball is going to be handed off to the tailback, Caleb Johnson. And Caleb Johnson's maybe going to have about 3 yards on that one.
Don't be surprised to see if they go with the same play, with the same read option. Don't be surprised to see Trayvon Conley pull it. As if he would have pulled on that previous play, he would have had nothing but daylight. It appears that these linebackers are kind of cheating down on the running back, so don't be surprised to see Mr. Conley try to pull it here pretty soon.
And you kind of see that the wind has picked up a little bit more here in the second half now, so we're going to see if that's going to be an initial decision-making if they decide to kick the field goal. So now it's a 3rd down and 7 now for the Panthers. 32 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Shotgun formation for Trayvon Conley. Looking to pass, has some pressure coming to the face. Avoids the sack. Goes out to his right, trying to complete with the pass, but it's going to be incomplete as there was no receivers over there to the left side. And luckily he was able to get outside of the pocket and avoid the initial intentional grounding.
Absolutely. You know, even though he wasn't able to complete the pass on that last play, great job by Conley avoiding the sack on that last play. You know, although you want to complete the pass, you know, it could have been a lot worse. So great job by Conley as the field goal unit is making their way onto the field to try to attempt this field goal.
Yeah, so to be exact, this is going to be about a 41-yard field goal for Villa Gomez.
Definitely in his range.
The wind is kind of picked up a little bit here in the second half, so we're going to see if Villa Gomez can lock in and knock this down. The kick is up and the ball is snapped. Excuse me, the kick is snapped. The punt was, the kick was snapped. I'm too caught up right now because as the ball is on the ground, they tried to make a return. So much is going on right now. We're going to see if the Panthers are able to come away with it. But the snap.
A lot happened on that play, Mr. Philip Prince. The field goal was blocked. It was blocked and it was caught at the same time. But then as he was catching it, taking off running, ball popped out. There was a lot going on, but it appears that the Hornets were able to get on the ball. So they're going to have a fresh set of downs. We're going to see what they're going to spot. They're going to spot this right at the 14-yard line. A lot happening on that last play.
A lot happened. I do apologize right there, ladies and gentlemen. Please, it won't happen again, I promise. But now the Hornets kind of get a little boneheaded mistake right there because they would have had better field position right there. But now they're going to get it at their own 14-yard line. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, the Hornets are going to try and cut down into this lead. While I'm listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the Panthers on top right now by a score of 14-0.
Join us daily for Southwestern Athletic Conference and Prairie View A&M University Panthers coverage on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. By far, we are the only network in the community that is providing this type of coverage each and every day for the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. Don't forget, you can join in on the website at obnradio.com. Click on the 24-hour stream, listen to content that way, or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the Open Mic Broadcast. We're the Panthers on top right now by a score of 14-0. Just then they had the 41-yard field goal blocked and tried to make a return out of it. And then for the last second, it looked like the ball came loose, but the Hornets were able to maintain it, and they're going to have this one starting at their own 14-yard line.
So the special teams was actually the Achilles heel of the Alabama State Hornets in the first half, but special teams actually come through for them on that last play. As we have 8 seconds to go here in the third quarter, crazy to believe that the Alabama State Hornets are only about to have their second drive of this third quarter due to the fact that the Panthers took off over 9 minutes of play of their on their opening drive in the third quarter.
So now we have 8 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Only don't have enough for about one play. Hornets are moving from our right to left. Empty backfield for Stewart. He has 3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. Stewart now gets the low snap, able to maintain it, rolling out to his right, just going to try and run, create something. He's going to connect with that workhorse number 1, Keyshawn Johnson, sitting right at the first down marker. And he's going to have enough for the first down. And that will conclude 3 quarters of play so far. The Panthers right now on top by a score of 14-0. We're going to stay right here. Like I said, this is where it comes all down to this. The Panthers so far have been playing a clean slate of football and come out with a strong second half. They're up to the test right now. They have 15 minutes to complete their mission. How so far are you impressed right now by the Panthers?
I am extremely impressed with the way that the Panthers have been playing. I've been more so impressed by the way the Panthers have been played defensively. By far the best defense I've seen for this 2023 campaign. The Panthers have been coming up and coming big in certain moments of this game when they need to. 1 quarter. They are 1 quarter away from punching their ticket to the Southwestern Athletic Conference. 2 years ago, the last time the Panthers were in the Southwestern, made it to the SWAC championship game in 2021. and have not won the SWAC championship since 2009. So a lot at stake for the Panthers for this ball game. It's a wild, wild west. A lot of things going on. Thoroughly impressed so far. I still got one more quarter to go, and 14 points is not hard to come by, especially in a game of football. The magnitude of this game. Can the Panthers get it done? We are one quarter away from finding out.
Yes, sir. And to be a quick reminder, at the conclusion of this game, you can always check out the 1876 After Party post-game show and chat with Dr. Mike Prince. Leave your thoughts and comments and concerns that you may have. And we would love to hear from you when you have any questions, thoughts, and comments concerns at our 24-hour message line at 720-721-1558. Always be sure to check out our 24-hour streaming featuring interviews, other special events surrounding student athletes at the Open Mic Broadcast Network radio, at the Open Mic Broadcast website at obnradio.com. Become a season pass supporter for the Panthers Athletics by making a donation of $11. This will help cover our season expenses. Visit on the website at obnradio.com and get your season pass today. You can simply send the season pass donation to P.O. Box 891, Prairie View, Texas 77446. As we get set to go here in the fourth quarter of play, the Hornets are trying to drive the length of the field to try and cut this lead into half right now and make this a much manageable game. And I did mention earlier, I made a mistake. Both teams are now coming in at 5-2, but it's a more significant game for the Panthers. If they can come away with the win, they'll have a chance to come out the champions of the West. So as we get set to go here, shotgun formation lined up for Mr. Stewart and this offense. Moving from our left to right now, ball is spotted at their own 24-yard line.
And they got the wide receiver, Keyshawn Johnson, lined up on the far left side of the field. Be on the lookout for a quick pass to Mr. Keyshawn Johnson. He's been the workhorse offensively for the Hornets throughout the duration of this ball game. Be on the look for him to try to have a big quarter for the Hornets here in this fourth quarter, try to give themselves an opportunity to come back.
Yes, sir. As you kind of see, the faithful fans have made a little bit more of a presence known into this ball game. And we want to take a little second here to mention that you did say that Mr. Jenkins looks like he might not be returning back into this game.
Yeah, I don't see Mr. Brian Jenkins. He was kind of limping out of the tent. He did have his helmet off, and he had to be kind of helped out. So likely may not see Mr. Brian Jenkins return in this ball game. But some positive news, we do see Shamar Savage on the sideline. He does have his helmet in his hand, and he was kind of catching the ball earlier. So it appears that that shoulder may be all right.
So we get set to go back here in action. Mr. Stewart's going to complete to number 13. That is Trayshawn Sanders. And Trayshawn Sanders running up the sideline on the field, the left side to 5. And he's going to be in for the touchdown. Just like that, 5 seconds later, the Hornets have added on to cut this lead into half.
So the Panthers defensively got way too lax on that play, as Stewart was able to take that one all the way down for a touchdown. Just like that, the Hornets have cut this down to one score with the PAT to follow. We still have 14:46 to go here in the fourth quarter, which is why I mentioned you still have one quarter. 14 points is not a lot of points to come back from in the course of a ball game. And just like that, one score, one play, one touchdown.
86-yard reception from Mr. Damon Stewart, connecting to number 13, Trey Saunders. And Trey Saunders was able to run across the middle of the field on the slant, just hit on the outside, running on the left side, and just outjet everybody.
Corrections, I said Stewart. I meant Saunders.
Yes, Saunders was able to score right there. So now, like I said, we got a whole new ball game already here, ladies and gentlemen, and it's not over just yet. The Panthers got to try to see if they can answer that call.
Now, the question is, now that that score has taken place, now if you're the Panthers, the question becomes, now do you allow that score to change what you've been doing offensively? On the previous drive, you tried to do what you did the drive before that you were successful in, and running the ball didn't really work out in your favor. But now that the Hornets have finally able to put points on the board here in the fourth quarter, if you're the Panthers offensively, do you continue doing what you did in the opening drive of the third quarter and try to drive the length of the field just by running the ball, or do you try to mix the things up here?
Well, you absolutely don't want to try to feel like you got to answer everything back on one play. You want to just take your time. Like I said, go back to you took off 9 minutes that first drive.
Yes, nearly 10.
Yes, to open up the
minutes.
the second half of play. So if you can just do anything right back there and at least come away with 3 points on the next drive, you have a pretty good chance now. That block field goal is going to come really big and see if it doesn't hurt the Panthers right now. So earlier, both teams have missed a field goal. As it would have been a whole different game right now. You look down on the field and you see Mr. Brian Jenkins is down there in crutches. So it doesn't look like he's going to be returning back into this game. So that's not a good sign for the Panthers, as their electric return man is not going to be able to return back into this game.
Electric return man, and he's also one of the key factors offensively for the Panthers at the receiving corps. You still got Christopher Simmons. You still got Trey John Spiller, although in this ball game, the main talk offensively for the Panthers has been the rushing attack. But definitely not a good sign offensively for the Panthers for Brian Jenkins not being able to return in the course of this ball game. And just some quick scoring updates around the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Alcorn State have now put up another score on Jackson State. They're on top of them by a score of 21-14. 12:34 remaining in the third quarter of that ball game. Texas Southern still on top of Arkansas Pine Bluff, 31-7. 15 minutes ago, when the third quarter just started for that ball game. For the A&M, no problem against Bethune-Cookman. They're on top of them by a score of 17-0. That game is at halftime. And your Panthers on top of the Hornets of Alabama State by the score of 14-7. Alabama State just now scoring their first touchdown here in this ball game. Defensively, the Panthers have been doing a great job pitching the shutout so far up until this point. Throughout the course of this ball game. So we're going to see if the Panthers offensively can try to answer. But to your point, not trying to answer every single call, but at the same time, you're going to have to try to make a stand here offensively if you're the Panthers.
Absolutely. If you could just eat up some clock and come away with 3, that's a big win, as this ball is going to be a fair caught by the Panthers, and that's number 89, David Murray. And the Panthers are going to get good starting field position here. Ball is going to be spotted at their own 28-yard line.
So far in this game, the Panthers have been most successful offensively when they're able to kind of get guys moving around offensively, kind of running the misdirections, ultimately kind of keeping the Hornets defensively on their toes, even with them trying to stick with the run game.
So now the Panthers are up to a big task right now. Even though they are up in this contest right now, you don't want to slip up and give any more momentum back to this Hornets, as they were able to capitalize on an 86-yard touchdown reception and cut the lead into half with just one play into the fourth quarter. So as we're set to go here, 1st and 10 for Trayvon Collins, his offense. Caleb Johnson is going to be the lead back here to start off this drive, and he's going to bull rush his way up right on the right side of the field. He's going to be shy. Might be right at the first down.
Yeah, depending on where they're going to give it to him. Yeah, depending on the spot, I was going to say would determine if they were going to give him the first down. But it looks like he got just an inch enough to get the first down. And Caleb Johnson definitely made that play possible, because it really wasn't a single lane for him to run through on that last play, but he made that play happen. So great job by Caleb Johnson.
Yeah, he was able to pick up 10 yards on that carry right there was Mr. Caleb Johnson. So now the Panthers just taking their time off the clock right now with 10 on the play clock, 14:05 remaining on the game clock. Ball's going to be handed off to Caleb Johnson once again, and Mr. Caleb Johnson is going to bulldoze his way up to about the 41-yard line, picking up 3 yards on that carry.
So the Panthers are going to go run with Caleb Johnson or Ahmad Antoine, depending on who's in the backfield. But again, don't be surprised to see Trayvon Conley pull it throughout certain moments here on this drive.
Panthers just going to try and take off as much clock as they can on this drive right now, leading by a score of 14-7, 13:30 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Panthers now moving from our right to left. Ball is spotted at their own 41-yard line. Shotgun formation for Trayvon Conley. Ball's going to be handed off to Caleb Johnson. Caleb Johnson is going to maybe pick up another 2 yards right there.
So the Panthers are running in the opposite direction of wherever they got their receivers lined up. So typically they're trying to let Caleb Johnson run where there's more open space on the field. Defenders are coming more so on the left side of the field, sending Caleb Johnson to the right side. Was able to pick up a few positive yards, but they are looking at a very important third down here coming up.
Yes, sir. I'm going to say he picked up 3 yards in that carry. So it'll be a 3rd down and 4 now for the Panthers. Ball is spotted at their own 44-yard line. And this is a huge 3rd down for the Panthers. If they can keep this drive alive and just take off more time off that clock and keep that Alabama State offense on the side, it seems like things have clicked and turned in their favor here in this 4th quarter. If you try to slow them down, they'll just be in your advantage. So this ball is going to be handed off to Caleb Johnson once again. And Caleb Johnson is maybe only going to get a yard right there. Netted immediately by a host of Hornets. Leading that charge was number 6 for them. That was DeMarcus Cunningham.
So, yeah, and the Hornets were definitely waiting for Caleb Johnson on that last play, and not really a whole lot doing as 4th down comes up. And that's what I mentioned before. I have no problem with, the Panthers kind of sticking with what they've been doing so far here in this game, and that's running the ball. But at the same time, you got to try to mix it up to kind of keep the Hornets guessing defensively. So they was able to be all over that one.
Efren Josso to kick this punt as the Panthers are going to catch a break right there. Looks like the Hornets might have jumped off sides. And if that's an offside, that's just going to be a huge break for the Panthers.
Number 37, offense, 5-yard penalty.
Well, they're going to actually call in on Prairie View, so that's going to push them back 5 yards right there.
Yeah, very questionable call, if I must say so myself. It appears that the front line of the Hornets did some movement first, and ultimately may have caused the Panthers to kind of jump on that last play. But I definitely saw some white jerseys moving first on that last play.
So back deep for the Hornets, standing at his own 20 is number 87, Robert McMahon, to receive Mr. Efren Josso's punt. As Josso gets the snap, gets the punt. Nice punt. See if it takes a Prairie View bounce, and it does just that. And he's going to pin the Hornets inside their own 20, officially at their own 18, and that's where the Hornets will have this one. Clock is at 11:23 remaining here in the 4th quarter. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to see if the Hornets could try and drive the length of the field, or those Prairie View Panthers can have another stop in them. You are listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Prairie View on top by a score of 14-7.
The birth of legends are storied in this conference. We must never forget our rich history. We now turn our gaze to the future. The new legends will emerge. New heroes to arise.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here back at Prairie View A&M University on the hill with Panthers are up to a big challenge right now. They are on top right now by a score of 14-7 over the Alabama State Hornets. But the Hornets, seems like they have things clicking on an offensive side so far.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, the 86-yard touchdown reception by Mr. Saunders on the previous drive hasn't been hasn't told the complete story of how well defensively the Panthers played. So hopefully they'll have another stop in them on this drive.
So now the Hornets are moving from our left to right. Takes a shot downfield. Is Stewart trying to connect with the workhorse himself, number 1, Keyshawn Johnson. But it looks like the Panthers had 2 men on coverage on them right there, but looks like that ball was out of the reach of any of the wide receivers.
And very smart by the Panthers of having two defenders on that young man, Mr. Keyshawn Johnson. And he appears that he feels like he should have gotten a pass interference call on that last play.
So, but to no avail, there is no call. So now it's going to be a 2nd down and 10 now for the Hornets. 11:16 the clock stopped at. The ball is officially spotted at their own 18-yard line. Shotgun formation for Stewart. Fakes the handoff. Looking to pass. He's going to roll out to his left. The pocket is collapsing, but avoids the sack. Now he's going to roll out to his left. He's going to try and scramble, pick up some positive yards, and he's going to do so that. Run out of bounds to the left side, but maybe picking up about 9 yards on the scramble.
Yeah, the pocket definitely collapsed. So the Panthers were able to get some pressure on Mr. Stewart, but Stewart turned on the Jets on that last play and was able to keep the play alive with his feet, able to pick up a first down for the Hornets.
Yes, able to pick up 10 yards, exactly what he needed. So now it's going to be a 1st and 10 now for the Hornets. Ball is spotted at their own 28-yard line. Clock stopped momentarily, but it continues to roll now. 10:45 now remaining here in the 4th quarter. Hornets only trailing by a score of 14-7. Shotgun formation for Stewart. 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. In the backfield with him is number 26, Harrison II. As you see the man in motion, Stewart looking to pass. Pocket's going to collapse. He's going to roll out to his left, trying to find an open receiver.
Wow.
Now, he has all day to throw. Now he's going to take this and run, and he's going to be finally brought down. And what's going to be for a loss of yardage right there, Mr. Stewart. It looked like the play had kind of broke down and well covered right there by the Panthers.
Yeah, so with all the running around that Stewart did on that last play, trying to keep the play alive, running to the left side, turning back around, running to the right side. Finally, Travion Green of the Panthers was able to get Mr. Stewart down for a stop on that last play. So great coverage by the Panthers defensively, and Stewart didn't have anywhere to go with it.
Actually, for a loss of 5 yards right there, so it'll be a second down and 15 now for the Hornets. 9:40 now remaining here in the fourth quarter. Ball is now spotted at the Hornets' 24-yard line. Shotgun formation for Mr. Stewart. Stewart looking to pass. Has an intended receiver. Is trying to get to Keyshawn Johnson, but that's going to fall out of bounds, out of stretch reach for Keyshawn Johnson. But again, well covered by the Panthers.
Yeah, it was well covered by the Panthers. The Panthers went with man-to-man coverage on that last play. Jalen Stanford was a cornerback on Mr. Keyshawn Johnson. He was with him every step of the way. Keyshawn Johnson ran the corner route on that play. You can tell that play was designed for him, and Stewart tried to look right in his direction, but great coverage by Mr. Stanford for the Panthers on Keyshawn Johnson.
So here we go, 3rd and 15 now for the Hornets. Empty backfield for Stewart. Stewart looking to pass, drop back.
Yes, all day.
Looking for a receiver, just going to roll out to his left, trying to take a shot downfield, and he's going to throw this to the intended receiver, number 10, Isaiah Stewart, but the official right there is going to say it's an incomplete pass. If he would able to come clean with it, he would have had enough for the first down. It would have been at the 40-yard line, but now it's going to bring out the punting unit for the Hornets.
And Stewart did the exact same thing on that play, rolling outside the pocket, keeping the play alive, had a man downfield, but Stewart, his receiver Stewart, wasn't able to get under it.
And I apologize. I've been saying Stewart, but on here they have another one, Scott, to be exact. So Scott right there was not able to come away with the completion right there. So now that's going to bring up a 4th down and 15, and the Hornets are going to have to bring out their punting unit. So the clock stopped momentarily for a second at 9:14. We have to see who's back deep for the Panthers since Mr. Brian Jenkins is not going to be able to return back into this game.
Yes.
So after the kick by number 46 for the Hornets is Harrison Tucker. And it's going to be a nice return for the Panthers.
That's number 35, Cody Mayberry, as the punt returner and replacement of Mr. Brian Jenkins.
So Mr. Mayberry was able to get a nice return. And like I said, another good spark plug right there as the Panthers have a nice field position. Now ball's going to be spotted at their own 46-yard line.
So in the opening drive of the third quarter, the Panthers were able to take off nearly 10 minutes off the play clock. We have 9:03 to go here in the fourth quarter. They are 9:03 away from punching their ticket to the Southwest Athletic Championship. Can they take off 9 minutes here on this drive offensively?
Set to go here, Trayvon Collins, shotgun formation. He's going to fake the handoff to Caleb Johnson. Has an intended receiver.
Wow.
That's going to be wide open down the field on the left side, and that's going to be number 16 for the Panthers.
Chris Herron.
Chris Herron's in for the touchdown for the Panthers.
So who needs to take off 9 minutes, Mr. Phillip Prince, when you can connect down the field to Mr. Chris Herron wide open on that play? Great job by Trayvon Conley. He was actually being pressured on that last play, but great job by Conley to not worry about the pressure, keeping his eyes downfield, able to connect with Chris Herron. More importantly, didn't overthrow Chris Herron. He was wide open. Touchdown, PV.
Yes, sir, for the 54-yard touchdown reception from Trayvon Conley to Mr. Chris Simmons. And it looks like the Hornets were playing run right there.
They were cheating down.
Yes, sir, and got him with the play action. Chris Simmons was wide open. And he could have picked his poison from Chris Simmons or Shamir Savage right there.
It may not, yes, because Shamir Savage was also downfield as well. It may not always look pretty, but the Panthers utilizing the run to set up the pass. The safeties were cheating down on that last play, and because of it, the Panthers went with the play action fake. Chris Herron wide open downfield. Trezon able to hook up with Herron. Touchdown pass.
So now with 8:53 remaining here in the fourth quarter, one play, all it took for the Panthers to get into the end zone. 54-yard touchdown strike from Trezon Conley to Chris Herron, and the Panthers have added on to that lead.
Well, the Panthers said we can score on one play as well. The Hornets scored on one play on the previous two drives, and the Panthers answered the exact same thing. One play, one score, 21-7 is now our score in favor of your Prairie View A&M University Panthers.
Yes, sir. I just want to let you know, after the conclusion, at the end of this game, remind you, you can always check in at the 1876 After Party Post-Game Show with Dr. Brandon Friends. Leave your thoughts and concerns after the game as you kind of hear the Panther fans getting more crunked up as the fans are getting more involved into this game. Right there off that touchdown strike, the Panther fans have gotten a lot more alive here. They kind of know what's at the stake now. A win, and you have punched your ticket to the SWAC championship.
Yes, sir. Fans are starting to come alive here from Blackshear Field with 8:53 to go here in the fourth quarter. It is all or nothing, do or die right here. Panthers putting on arguably one of the best performances we've seen so far here for this 2023 campaign. And what sweet way would it be to close out the last game of the regular season? What way to close it out? The Panthers get a victory here and punch their ticket to the SWAC championship game.
And absolutely, instead of the championship game will be played in Tallahassee, Florida on December 2nd, so you have a chance to at least get healthy for at least another week or two before you have to go back and make that plane fly out there. So maybe you see the return maybe of Brian Jenkins if the injury is not too severe. You want to see you want to have everybody healthy.
Right.
All arms, everybody alive.
Right. And for those that are listening that don't know, of course, as Phil mentioned, the game will be played, the SWAC championship game on December 2nd will be played in Tallahassee, Florida. And waiting in the East Division are the Florida A&M University Rattlers. They have already punched their ticket to the SWAC championship game, and they're just sitting back waiting to see who's going to come out and represent the West in the SWAC championship game.
Mr. Villa Gomez kick. A muff kick. But you had already signaled for the fair catch. Was that number 88 for the Hornets? And caught a break right there.
Yeah, that was Mr. McRae Arrington, the tight end for the Hornets. Able to catch a break on that play. Good thing he already called fair catch before he bucked it.
Now the Hornets are going to have to do some field position. Look up to a lot to a task. Have a lot to come down. Trailing by a score of 21-7, but it's still not over with. So one again can cut this lead back down to just a touchdown. So now we're going to see if the Hornets, like you said, just fight their way back. Shotgun formation for Mr. Stewart, and Stewart is going to throw this to his safety blanket, number 1, Mr. Keyshawn Johnson, tackled by number Keyshawn Johnson.
Right, Keyshawn Johnson against Johnson, and speaking of which, the Keyshawn Johnson of the Hornets appears to be shaken up on that last play.
As they tend to Mr. Keyshawn Johnson for the Hornets, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come right back. We'll be right back to give you more coverage of the fourth quarter.
The birth of legends are storied in this conference. We must never forget our rich history. We now turn our gaze to the future. The new legends will emerge. New heroes to arise. The Southwestern Athletic Conference. Our history.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as number 1, Keyshawn Johnson was the injured Hornet right there, was able to walk his way off the field in his own power.
And that's going to be a huge blow to the Hornets offensively if Mr. Keyshawn Johnson is not able to return to this ball game. Again, he's been a workhorse for the Hornets offensively. We don't have the official numbers in front of us just yet, but he had over 70 yards reception in that first half, so we'll see what happens here moving forward.
So Isaiah Stewart, there's a Damon Stewart and his offense ready to go back here, and he's going to have this ball completed to number 13, Trey Saunders. And Saunders is able to have enough for the first down. picking up about 14 yards on the reception.
Yeah, Trey Saunders responsible for the only score of the Hornets so far here in this ball game. Brady Bird III has been covering him so far here in this game. We'll see if they continue with the man-to-man coverage as they win with him yet again on that last play.
Yes, sir. It looks like Mr. Stewart is going to have to try and find another safety net as now Keyshawn Johnson has made his way back onto the field, but it was Saunders coming away with the reception right there for about 6 yards right there. So now the Hornets now moving from our left to right, ball and spotted at the Panthers territory, officially at the 49-yard line. 7:35 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Ball and snap, shotgun formation. Looking to pass, he's going to connect to his tight end. He's going to have enough for the first down. Slipping and sliding, trying to get extra yardage was his tight end number 83. That is Will Sparks, and Will Sparks was able to pick up about 12 yards right there.
Yeah, he was nearly blanketed by the Panthers' Keyshawn Johnson, but he was able to make Keyshawn Johnson miss and pick up some positive gains in the first down.
So now looking to pass is Stewart once again, and Stewart is going to throw this out to his tailback right there on the left side of the field for his safety valve, but only able to pick up about 2 yards on the reception was number 8, Jawan Howe.
And that was Keyshawn Johnson for the Panthers making a stop on that play, making up for the missed tackle on the previous play, only able to pick up 2 yards on that play.
So now the ball is going to be officially spotted at the Panthers' 35-yard line. 6:45 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Panthers on top by a score 21-7. Looks like there is a stoppage in the play right now. Trying to see what the official will try and talk things over. Trying to adjust the game clock.
Right.
No foul for a play clock. It now functions.
So play clock malfunction. They was trying to get that sorted out.
As we get set to go, the clock's going to continue to roll now. 6:35 now remaining in the fourth quarter. Ball again is spotted at the Panthers' 35-yard line. Stewart looking to pass, has an intended receiver. Is number 1, Keyshawn Johnson. And Keyshawn Johnson was able to pick up 1 yard, but we thought he was going to maybe get a loss of yards, but he's going to give him forward progress and only pick up 1 yard on that reception.
So the same route that he ran on the previous play before the slight injury, they're starting to line up Keyshawn Johnson in the slot receiver position, kind of go up against the linebackers of the Panthers in like a one-on-one situation, and he's just been running the hitch routes so far from that slot receiver position.
So Damon Stewart looking to pass, and he's going to check this downfield to his tailback, Mr. 8, Jawan Howe. He's up the middle of the field, but he's going to be shy of the first down.
Very critical fourth down coming up here on this play, Phil.
So now it's bringing up a 4th down and 4 now for the Hornets, and this is 4-down territory. This is the ball game right here. 5:30 remaining here in the fourth quarter. You're trailing by a score of 21-7. We're going to see if the Hornets are able to pick up the 4 yards that they need to keep this drive alive.
And they still got 3 timeouts to work with, but yes, very critical down for the Hornets.
And Mr. Stewart is going to complete this to his running back once again, Isaiah Howell. And Jawan Howell was able to pick up the first down just up in the middle of the field. There was no one containing Mr. Howell right there.
Yeah, Jawan Howell was able to find a nice crease in the middle of the field, some open rooms, able to pick up more than enough yards for a Hornets first down. Now they find themselves inside the 20-yard line of the Panthers.
Ball officially spotted at the Panthers' 17-yard line. Now, Damon Stewart trying to make this play into nothing, and he was scrambling for a little bit, and for a second ran into his lineman's back and was able to run outside the pocket to avoid any more sacking. It was a loss right there, and able to get the pass off, but it comes up incomplete out of the hands of the intended receiver.
But it appears that Stewart may have had enough room to pick up a first down if he decided to take off and run with it, but because he ran into his own man, to your point, he had to go to the other side to try to attempt to pass downfield, incomplete pass, and we got second down coming up.
Second down, clock stopped at 4:46. Ball is spotted at the Panthers' 17-yard line. Hornets in the shotgun formation. Stewart looking to pass, but there's a stoppage in the play as the Panthers are going to want to talk things over. And we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, the Panthers want to try and get things back and situated right now. They are leading right now by a score of 21-7. You are listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network, home of the Waller County Athletics, the Prairie Athletics, and the Temple of Refuge Ministries.
The The birth of legends are storied in this conference. We must never forget our rich history. We now turn our gaze to the future. The new legends will emerge. New heroes to arise. The Southwestern Athletic Conference. Be our history.
And welcome back here to the Hill at Prairie A&M University, where the Panthers right now on top by a score of 21-7 over the Alabama A&M Hornets. And Bubba McDowell want to talk things over and get his defense resituated. But so far, the Panthers have played a great second half of football.
Yes, sir. And even though that the Hornets are inside the 20-yard line of the Panthers have found themselves in this position as we got ourselves a little atomic dog situation going on right now, trying to get PV Nation amped up to cheer the Panthers to victory. We have 4:46 to go here in the fourth quarter. Panthers up by 2 scores and hopes to punch their ticket through the SWAC championship game. But the Panthers have found themselves defensively in this situation before. Ball inside the 20-yard line. They've been in bend but don't break situations before, so hopefully they can do it here yet again. It's only second down, so the Panthers. We know this is fourth down territory for the Hornets.
As you do some scores around the SWAC, as Alcorn State is tied right now with Jackson State by a score of 21 at all, with 6:30 remaining in the third quarter. But Alcorn does have the ball inside the Jackson State red zone officially at their own 12-yard line. So the Alcorn State is trying to regain the lead in that contest. Texas Southern is leading by a score of 31-7 over Arkansas Pine Bluff by a score. By a score of 31-7.
That score hasn't changed much.
No, it has not. With 6:51 remaining in the third, and Florida A&M is leading by a score of 17-0 over Bethune-Cookman with 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. As we get set to go back here in our contest, Panthers on top by a score of 21-7. Damon Stewart avoids the sack, and the ball comes loose, and he's going to be just dropped down. He's going to have to take the sack right there. Was trying to avoid number 93 for the Panthers.
That's Jamal Marshall, the defensive lineman for the Panthers, getting in there and disrupting things for Stewart on that last play. Great pursuit by Marshall.
Yes, sir, and that's going to be a huge loss right there. Not the loss that they need. It's going to be a loss of 18 right there.
And that is due to the substitution that the Panthers have done defensively on the front line throughout the course of this ball game. Something they've done for this entire 2023 campaign, keeping those big guys fresh by making those substitutions. And you can tell that Marshall had an extra energy boost on that hot pursuit.
So now it's a third down and 23 now for the Hornets. Ball spotted at the Prairie Panthers 30-yard line. This ball is going to be almost intercepted by the Panthers. Was intended for number 10, Isaiah Scott right there. But coming over there defensively for the Panthers looked like it was number 20.
Yeah, Dylan DeCur coming over there at the last minute to break things up on that last play.
Could have been a game-stealing interception, and he was able to come away with it right there, in my opinion. But nonetheless, now it's looking like a 4th and 23 now for the Hornets. Clock stopped at 3:53 now, and it's all or nothing now for the Hornets. They have to pick up 23 yards to pick up the first down, so don't be shocked. They're just trying to take the shots into the end zone. Have another stoppage in the play right now as the Hornets want to talk things over. We're going to stay right here. As clock is stopped at 3:53. Panthers on top by a score of 21-7 over the Hornets. And so far, the Panthers need one more stop, and it looks like they will have the West.
One more stop. We got 3:53 to go. After this timeout, the Hornets will have 2 more timeouts remaining, but they're also down by 2 scores.
Yes, sir. And like I said, that's going to be a lot to try and come back from behind down 2 scores, because initially the Panthers just have to run out the clock, pick up maybe 2 first downs, have the Hornets just run out those timeouts, and then you consider yourself as the West championship. So,
and running out the clock is something that the Panthers have done successfully throughout the course of this ball game. Keep those running backs rotating in there, keep them fresh. Utilize the run games you've been doing so far. Just keep at it. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Absolutely. So now the Hornets making their way back out to the field as well as the Panthers. Again, the Panthers come in wearing gold helmets. It looks like those gold helmets have been their good luck charm the past couple of weeks with the purple tops and the white bottoms as the visiting Hornets come in wearing the white tops, the white bottoms, and the white pants. Like I said, that's just the icy white look that most teams are going to nowadays. So now it looks like the Panthers are going to be in prevention mode, just trying to avoid.
Yes,
they have a long ways to go now.
Yeah.
Damon Stewart looking to pass in the pocket is collapsing and getting it to him. Number 91, Derek Ray Jr., and that's going to be another second. That's going to be a turnover on down. And it looks like that might be it. And the Panthers are 3 minutes and 44 seconds away from being your SWAC champions out of the West.
MVP goes to the defense of the Panthers for this ball game. Great job by Mr. Derek Ray Jr. on that play. They've been getting pressure on Stewart throughout the duration of this ball game, and several opportunities he's been able to avoid the pressure, but they've been able to get to him as well. Derek Ray Jr. got to him on that play. Panthers are 344 away from punching their ticket to the SWAC championship.
Yes, sir. And so far, it's been a well-complete game by the Panthers. You can't ask for much, especially for your defensive side of the ball, who came in, like I said, giving up the second most points into this contest. So now this ball's going to be handed off to Caleb Johnson, and Caleb Johnson is going to pick up about 10 yards right there. Official going to say picked up 9 yards on the carry. Looked like he fell forward, but the side official is not going to give him the first down.
No, he's not going to give it to him. I'm going to make him work for it just a little bit more. But if I'm head coach Bubba McDowell, I am preaching ball security. Whatever you do, hold on to the ball. Don't try to be a hero. Don't try to pick up additional yards. Get what you can. Whatever you can't get, we'll live to see another play.
Absolutely. Like I say, you live to see another week, most chances there.
There
and having
go.
to run more at practice. So now we get set to go here to be a second down. Let's say he officially picked up 8 yards on that carry. So it'll be a second down and 2 now for the Panthers. Ball is spotted at their own 48-yard line. 2:55 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Ball's going to be handed off to Caleb Johnson once again, and Caleb Johnson is going to be met immediately. Might have happened this depending on the spot, he's like have enough for the first down, so he picked up 2 yards.
Yeah, they're going to give him forward progress, so he should have more than enough for a first down. So ball officially now going to be spotted right at midfield at the 50-yard line.
2:35 remaining here in the fourth quarter, and looks like I said, the Panthers are going to take as much time as they can off the clock. The Hornets looks like just going to hold on to those timeouts at this point. Thought they might have would have called one earlier, but we're going to see if they can maybe get a stop right here and try and call a timeout. But with 2:15 remaining in the fourth quarter, looks like their window of a comeback is kind of just slipping away. 2:10 now remaining here in the fourth quarter. Play clock is at 2 seconds. 1 second, able to get it off in time before a delay in game. This ball's going to be handed off to Caleb Johnson, and Caleb Johnson is only going to get a yard, and there goes the second timeout by the Hornets. So that's going to stop the clock at 2 minutes there.
Yeah, it's going to stop it at 2 minutes. After this, they're going to have one more timeout remaining. But essentially, one more first down will end all of this.
Absolutely, and that's all you want to do. Like you said, push for ball security. And if they can do that, like I said, you punch your ticket to the West. And we have a scoring update right now. Alcorn State has taken over the lead again over Jackson State by a score of 28-21 with 3:21 to go in the third quarter. And Arkansas Pine Bluff has just added on to the deficit, a little bit. They cut the lead down now to 31-13 now with 3:46 to go in the third quarter. And again, Florida A&M is up top by a score of 17-0 with 8:15 to go in the third.
So it appears it's just been a back and forth between Alcorn State and Jackson State. One team scores, the other team scores. Kind of a back and forth going on in Mississippi at the moment.
Absolutely. It looks like Jackson State was able to move the ball down the field, got officially spotted at the Alcorn 43, so they're trying to answer back to the Alcorn score. So now here in our contest, the Panthers just need to pick up a first down to ice the game. This ball's going to be handed off to Caleb Johnson once again. And Caleb Johnson is going to only pick up 1 more yard, and that's going to make the Hornets use their last timeout. So now it's going to be a 3rd down and 8 now for the Panthers. And a first down can pretty much ice this one out for sure, but still the Panthers are, in a pretty much decent field position, I should say, because they are up by a score of 21-7, 2 scores. So they would have to drive the length of the field and then come back and try to record an offside cover right there. But you have no timeouts. it's a little bit pretty much over with and done with it.
Yeah, it's definitely far-fetched. They would have to drive the length of the field twice, but they will also have to secure an onside kick in order to make that possible. But again, you're going to be doing it with no timeouts, which means you're going to have to utilize the sidelines in order to make that happen. The good thing is that the Panthers aren't able to pick up a first down here on third down. Their punter, Ephraim Jasso, has been punting exceptionally well throughout the course of this game.
As we get ready to resume back in the play, and the Panthers just elect to run the ball to keep the clock running, it looks like he's going to actually lose a yardage. So I originally said it was a 3rd down and 8. It was a 3rd down and 9. So now it's going to be a 4th down and 10 now with that loss of yardage right there. So now
we should see the punter, Ephraim Jasso, come onto the field. He's been punting the ball exceptionally well throughout the course of this game, getting the ball inside the 20-yard line, inside the 10-yard line. We see why he was named Special Teams Player of the Week from his performance last week against Southern.
Absolutely. He did a nice job in that week and just carried over to this game, putting the opposing Hornets inside their own 20. And that's where the vast majority of the game, the Hornets been having to take the ball. So now the Panthers are going to elect
taking a second timeout.
Take their second timeout here in the second half. Just let the clock go all the way down to 1 minute and 4 seconds. So now, like I said, you're a minute and 4 seconds away from being the West champion.
A long minute and 4. My goodness. You know, it's crazy how the third quarter just flew by, due to the Panthers taking nearly 10 minutes off of the game clock on their opening possession of the third quarter. And it appears that this fourth quarter is just slowly moving by. This is a long minute and 4 seconds, but it's a minute and 4 seconds nonetheless. For the Panthers, are able to punch their ticket to the SWAC championship game. The last time they were in the SWAC championship game was in 2021, and the last time they won was in 2009. So a lot at stake for PVU Nation here.
Yes, sir. Like I said, you got a familiar opponent that you're going against in the SWAC championship, so you got a lot that you have to overcome and try and become victorious in that one. So as Ephraim Jasso was able to get that punt off, it looked like the Hornets were sending the whole house, but he was able to avoid it and get that one off. So now,
inside the 20-yard line,
once again. So here the Hornets go down by 2 scores with 57 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. You have a lot to task, but you can't really cancel out anyone just yet. But if the Panthers can take care of their duties here, you could deem themselves the West champions in the SWAC.
As long as they are able to keep the Hornets in bounds, the Panthers should be okay here on this drive. We see Keyshawn Johnson of the Hornets lined up on the right side of the field. It's like the Panthers are going to try to go with the zone defense, but Freddie Bird is covering Keyshawn Johnson.
So Stewart looking to pass, and he's going to do just that, try to connect with Keyshawn Johnson. Right. And the Keyshawn Johnson for the Panthers was right there and got looked off by Stewart. It got Keyshawn Johnson for the Alabama State Hornets opened just a little bit, but he couldn't come up with the pass right there. Shockingly.
The fact that the Hornets are pretty much in desperate mode right now to utilize their superstar, Keyshawn Johnson, because there was not one, not two, but 3 Panthers near Keyshawn Johnson, and Stewart still tried to fit that ball in there.
So now it's going to break up a 2nd down and 10 now for the Hornets. Clock stopped at 51 seconds momentarily, and this ball's going to be handed off to number 13. That was on the reception, Trey Saunders, and Trey Saunders just pitched his back to Jawan Hall, and Jawan Hall will get a nice return all the way down to the Panthers side of the field.
So Trey Saunders, as he's hobbling right now, he caught the ball. He was hit as he was catching the ball. He saw his man coming across, and he pitched it to him at the last minute. He was able to take it all the way down inside Panther territory. Ball now at the 34-yard line of the Panthers.
So he was able to pick up a big gain right there.
Got 41 seconds to go.
Stewart looking to pass. Going to take a shot towards the end zone for a Hail Mary shot, and this ball's going to be incomplete. So that's going to stop the clock momentarily right there at 33 seconds. The ball's officially spotted at the Panthers' 34-yard line.
I mean, that previous play from Sanders to Howell, it happened so smoothly, it almost looked as if it was drawn up that way.
Yeah, that's a 47-yard reception right there. So just like that, the Hornets aren't trying to go away just yet. So now Stewart, who was hobbling off the field earlier, who made the outstanding pitch and catch, well, catch and pitch, I should say, to his teammate to get the additional yardage right there. So now we're looking at a 2nd down and 10 now for Stewart and the offense. This ball's going to be caught by number 83, the tight end, Will Sparks. And Will Sparks is going to have enough for another 1st down. Clock stopped momentarily at 26 seconds, but it should start now as it is rolling at 20 seconds. And Stewart's going to have to spike it. Stop the clock at 21 seconds.
21 seconds to go as the Hornets are not trying to go away just yet. 21-7 is our score in favor of the Panthers. As we mentioned before, the Hornets are out of timeouts. So if they are able to score here on this drive, they're going to be looking for the onside kick to try to score yet again.
Yeah, he picked up nice reception right there by the tight end Sparks, picking up the 23 yards on the reception. So now has them inside the 20, officially spotted at the Panthers' 16-yard line.
We got Keyshawn Johnson of the Hornets here on the near side of the field.
So Stewart looking to pass, and this ball's going to be in for the touchdown. So a late second 16-yard touchdown reception. Touchdown by number 13, Trey Saunders. And give it to Mr. Trey Saunders. If it wasn't for him this drive,
Trey Saunders was the man for the Hornets on this drive. The pitch and catch that he did on 2 plays ago to Mr. Howell to get the ball inside Panther territory, and now he was able to cap things off with a touchdown for the Hornets here on that last play.
So you can't slip over just yet, ladies and gentlemen, as the Panthers lead has cut down to 21-13 now with the point at the attempt. The kick is up, and it's good by number 49, Balin Cannon. So with 16 seconds remaining here in the 4th quarter, the Hornets are looking like they're trying to come back and tie this up.
So 2 touchdowns for the Hornets here in this ball game. Both have gone to Mr. Saunders. It appears that Keyshawn Johnson was the MVP of the Hornets offensively in the first half. Now it appears that Saunders has kind of taken over teams here in the second half of the Hornets. Johnson has been kind of quiet a bit, but Saunders has kind of picked things up where he left off, where Johnson left off in the first half. And he's getting things done for the Hornets here in the second half. We have 16 seconds to go. Of course, the Panthers are going to have their hand team out here, as we know that the Hornets are going to try this onside kick with 16 seconds to go. We've seen strange things happen in football. That's why they say you have to play 4 complete quarters of football, because we've seen stranger things happen.
Yes, sir. So far, the Panthers, you can say they played 3 clean plates of football throughout this game. It's like the Hornets were trying to make a comeback, and it's still not over. They were able to score their 14 points all in this 4th quarter. A quick hitter, the first start of the 4th quarter, and then now a second with a late drive, a touchdown for a 16-yard touchdown reception to cut the lead now to 21-14.
So everything essentially comes down to this moment right here.
The kick is going to be, it's for a second. Prairie View going to recover. It looks like it took a bounce, and the Panthers had it momentarily, and then it came out last second, but thankfully the Panthers were able to fall back on it.
I've always wondered what my heart would feel like if it stopped for 1 second. I felt it right there. My heart stopped for 1 second, but the Panthers were able to cover the ball with the second and third effort. Now we can just take this knee and get up out of here.
Yes, sir. You can take the knee, thankfully, just get out of here. And please just hold on to the snap. But just like that, the Panthers came in needing a win to conquer the West, and they did just that, and really thankful to that defense. You can minus the 4th quarter slump that they did. They were pitching a shutout till then, but
yes, sir.
Other than that, a complete game by the Panthers.
And just like that, it's a wrap.
As you can see, the Bubba McDowell getting the bath, as you can now deem that the Prairie View A&M Panthers are your SWAC champions out of the West.
Wow. What a moment for the Panthers. What a season for the Panthers. This 2023 campaign has been one for the books. There's been a lot of ups and downs for the Panthers, a lot of back and forth, not really knowing what the rest of the season is going to hold. Due to some other teams winning or losing, the Panthers were able to get another opportunity due to their victory they had last week against Southern. They was able to get another opportunity to punch their own ticket to the SWAC championship. They had to take care of business here against the Alabama State Hornets. They did just that by the score of 21-14. 4 complete phases of football played by the Panthers offensively, defensively, special teams, anything that you can think of, the Panthers showed up here in this ball game.
I'll give you 3.5. That fourth quarter,
Okay.
It's a little bit of a scare right there.
Defense got a little tired.
Yes, sir.
They've been playing an exceptional ball game here against the Hornets, and they may have gotten just a little tired. Bend but don't break. Either way, 21-14, Panthers victorious, and as we've always said, we'll take it any way we can get it.
Yes, sir. So we'll be right back to give you the post game of this conclusion of this game. But the Panthers come out victorious by a score of 21-14 here at Prairie A&M University. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, where the Panthers come out victorious by a score of 21-14 here at the Hill. The Panthers kind of had a little bit of a scare right there, but they would have come through, like you said, conquer the West.
It wouldn't be the Panthers without giving us just a little bit of scare, just a little bit of rowdiness, but they was able to get the job done. Great job by the Panthers. Now the table is set. As we mentioned before, the FAMU Rattlers in the East, representing the East, and they were sitting back and waiting to see who will be coming out of the West Division of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Panthers victorious today. They are in. Nothing else matters. Now we have Florida A&M University against the Panthers of Prairie View A&M University in Tallahassee, Florida. December 2nd is going to be an interesting showdown. Of course, these teams faced off 4 weeks ago, and FAMU was victorious by the score of 45-7. But as we always say, it is hard to beat a team twice.
Absolutely, it's always hard to beat. And Prairie View is going to have what they did happen to them already on the back of display, and we're not going to have to be embarrassed like that again. So now, with some other scores throughout the SWAC right here, as you got to say, the Panthers come out victorious here by a score of 24-14. Alcorn State is leading right now by a score of 28-21 over Jackson State with 10 minutes and 24 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Texas Southern is leading by a score of 34-13 now over Arkansas Pine Bluff. The end of the third quarter just concluded right there. And Florida A&M is leading by a score of 17-7 right now with a minute and 53 seconds to go in the third quarter. As Mr. Andre Davis did say, that's who the Panthers will be taking on in the SWAC championship on December 2nd. But here, the Panthers come out victorious to punch their ticket to the SWAC championship by a score of 21-14. And alongside me now I have Mr. Greg Johnson. How you doing, Mr. Johnson?
I'm good. Very excited.
Very good game right there.
Very good game.
So, like you say, you can go over some final stats for us, man.
Definitely. Alabama State ended the game passing yards with 260 passing yards to end the game and 72 rushing yards to end the game, while PV finished the game with 144 passing yards and 152 rushing yards, and the Prairie View Panthers ended the game with 2 penalties, totaling at 20 yards to end the game.
So that's what I say, clean football right there. That's what you needed right there. So we want to thank you for that and doing your job and helping us and making our job a lot easier. As this has been, again, the Open Mic Broadcast Network here, giving you coverage where the Panthers have coming out victorious and conquered the West. I am Philip Prince, alongside giving you the coverage was none other than Mr. Andre Davis and our stat man, Mr. Greg Johnson. I want to thank you for joining today's contest here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Again, the Prairie View Panthers coming out on top by a score of 21-14. And I want to take the time to thank our sponsors who were able to bring you today's game. The Prairie View Athletic Club, serving the student athletes since 1986. For more information on how to become a member, dial 936-857-5817 and ask for Greg Austin. The Panther Backers, serving student athletes since 1995. For more information on how to become a member, contact Dino Robinson at 713-417-2090. And the Temple of Refuge Ministries. Remember, you can always listen live each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time by dialing 857-777-0000. Building the kingdom one soul at a time. Again, this has been another live production on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Until then, we will see you on the other side.